all at Red Bull London where there was I don't know how to put this, maybe some miscommunication regarding, I don't know, some handshakes or whatnot. Crimson felt a little proud about beating one of the goats of Street Fighter V, right? And he let the world know about it. And ever since then, Punk felt some type of way about it, or maybe he didn't. I don't know. Either way, you're right. Some beef has manifested between the two, as you could say, all in competitive spirit. And the latest iteration of that so-called competitive spirit matchup is going to be today. But on the other side is NL and Angry Bird, two of the best looking competitors here, despite being in the loser side of things. Like, these two guys have impressed me more than almost any other player here at the Global Esports Tour in Riyadh. So I'm most definitely looking forward to them clashing. Of course, NL has been holding it down. Angry Bird, we've seen the Ken, the Rashid, just been looking monstrous no matter which character he chooses. And both of these guys really don't let their opponent get away with jack, right? Like, their knowledge of the game is so vast that people trying to get like free turns or stealing turns with these gaps, they expose them every time. They seem to know how to escape like the primary strategies of each character, and it's pretty sick to just watch them go to work.
Absolutely, man. Angry Bird and NL, our other losers bracket elimination match. Angry Bird going down into the losers bracket very, very early on, and he's had to work very hard to make it back to NL for the run back after that first round defeat. It was a very close set, very exciting set, but Angry Bird has had to eliminate, as you can see, the four fills of the UK. He's gone through Big Bird, his teammate, his brother, his training partner. Obviously not literally his brother, but they're as close as brothers. And Cien, a former world champion in Street Fighter as well. So it's been a very, very hard road for Angry Bird, coming off the back of a victory last week as well. So he's in great form, but that form was not good enough to getting past NL at first time of asking. We're going to see whether he can do it second time round. What are the changes going to be? I'm really looking forward to that one. So there are first two matches coming up in the losers bracket. Let's take a look at the two players remaining in the winners side. And there you see Mena RD and Gamer B. And Gamer B surprised us all. I mean, it's never surprising that Gamer B is doing well in Street Fighter, but when you came into this event, there's certainly other players that are kind of at the forefront of our minds when it comes to, the current competitive form in Street Fighter V. And he faced NL, another player that kind of has been overlooked. But on form this weekend, NL's looked incredible, and Gamer B managed to defeat him as well. So Gamer B surprising us all. Men RD, on the other hand, great run of form. Second place at CEO, losing only to Idom, who's arguably the most informed player in the world today, and a top 8 finish at Combo Breaker as well. So he's looking very, very strong. He's here again in winners final. What do you think about these two players making it all the way here?
So I'm real happy that Mena has been doing so successful in this tournament, because we highlighted at the very beginning about his Luke pick and just how solid of a fundamental player he is in Street Fighter V, right? And that he's like one of those guys where I talk to other top players and they're just like, yeah, Mena knows how to play the game. Like, he can pick up any character, he can really exploit it to its fullest potential. So the fact that he's picking Luke, which we've kind of gone over a little bit, he doesn't have that many shenanigans or trickery to him, right? It's just the fact that his kit is so solid when it comes to his footies and his fireball and his anti-airs. And we've seen Mena pretty much harness that the best out of any of the players here, in my opinion. Now, on the other side, Gamer B has been doing some similar things, right? Definitely cannot discount him, especially with the way he got into this, running 3 games back on NL, making him crack, reading the wake-up reversals when he was cracking. I mean, Gamer B looks like he knows when he can smell blood in the water. Can he get Mena RD to that point? I'm not sure. And Mena, I think, kind of thrives a little bit in that type of environment in the first place. And he doesn't wait to bust out or kind of utilize these invincible reversals until the last moment like NL does.
I think so, man. He has already shown us a handful of different characters. He went straight to Birdie, right, in that first match against Lightning, and then it's been pretty much Luke the whole way through, and that's pretty much in line with his recent tournament performances as well. I think we've seen a boxer from him as well, a couple of the tournaments that he's played in. But other than that, it's mainly been focused around this Luke, probably the strongest pick for a competitive player right now. In general, we've seen Luke so often in this bracket, so definitely very popular amongst these pro players. Punk, on the other hand, who he managed to defeat in semis, we were talking about, his character picks and how he's kind of shown a number of very strong characters. Another guy that can he mains Street Fighter, he mains the game,
Yes.
but not one that is as obviously getting the job done as Luke has been for so many of these guys. And it's very interesting that Punk generally kind of stays away from these obvious straight line top tier characters. I think he feels more like he likes to make characters look top tier. I've never really seen him kind of just pick a character because they happen to be top tier at the moment. And he's kind of got a very interesting approach to the game like that. But he's going to be playing up against Mr. Crimson now in an elimination match in the losers side. So we've got 3 really, really hype fixtures to start off today. We will be determining an entire top 8 finish as well. There's going to be, what are they called, tiebreakers happening off stream as well to determine 8th and 7th place and determine 6th and 5th place as well. But right now, it's all about an elimination bout between these 2 players who have faced each other a number of times recently in competitive play. Punk and Mr. Crimson with a handshake, of course, and they're going to be getting into it. So Crimson, he's got an array of characters as well. It seems like that's the thing these days for so many of these Western-based players, to have like a roster of characters, at least 2 or 3. There's very few players at that highest level that are getting results that only use one character these days. It seems to be a lot rarer. Do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, this is kind of what the game has evolved into, because right now I think there's so many viable characters, and you can just kind of go to Luke and cover most of your matchup bases, right? But Luke is a new character to the game, and a lot of people have invested a whole lot of thousands of hours into a lot of other characters at this point. And I think there's a merit to kind of fleshing out those characters at this competitive level, especially if some of them are underrepresented, right? In Mr. Crimson's case, I don't think he plays really many underrepresented characters, but the characters he does play are at such a high level. Like the Dawson, for example, right? We see him, we see Arturo, we see the Dawsons go to work exploiting the V-shift and just cycling through the defensive cycles so well. And he does have the Luke, right, on the spare, just in case.
Wow.
But and this is something that Punk could definitely pull out. Like we said, plays the whole cast, mains the game, so we're going to see him try to go to a classic matchup that we've seen, his name is Fudo, kind of utilized since the beginning of the game, right?
My main
abused Dawsons with Armika.
Yeah, my main reference for this would certainly be Luffy in this matchup.
No, for sure.
Course, and that's one that Mr. Crimson's going to have a ton of experience in, but it also means there's going to be a ton of like video footage for him for Punk to watch and study to see any particular holes. It's very difficult, of course, once Mika does get in, and we've seen Crimson and Luffy battle it out very recently in CPT France and Spain and Portugal, where they've had some epic battles over the last couple of years. But he's going to be mad prepared, right? Go on, sorry.
Yeah, but you highlighted the fact that Armika is deadly when she gets in, and I feel like if Punk's confident in anything in his Street Fighter game, it's getting in on his opponent, even if it's Dawson, and he's gonna close out the first round with the EX Peach.
That was a very, very close opening round. You're seeing Crimson make a lot of good decisions in terms of like his normal buttons choice, and of course he's going to do that. He knows exactly what the risk reward is against Mika. There's not a huge amount of risk for Sim in anti-airing as well. Like that splash is very useful, but there's not a tremendous amount of risk in terms of that. The main risk is absolutely the teleport mix-ups that can be chased down by that EX Shooting Peach. And just... Which V-Trigger is he going for? Oh, V-Trigger 1, okay. Yeah, sometimes, obviously, the V-Trigger 2 is very useful as well in terms of maintaining that pressure. There's the chase down, but he teleports out. And that was a much, much more dominant round from Mr. Crimson there. I think he did really well in terms of stopping Punk from getting out. Nice buffer, though, with the Fierce into the Shooting Peach.
Yeah, but now Punk has the corner. This is where Mika shines. With the second button, a little bit of unfamiliar pressure, but very familiar with the teleport counters. Oh, the
Nice.
anti-air actually whiffed on the other side. Reversal as well, getting the punish perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a little bagging?
That is
Oh, that's a
definitely.
lot of bagging.
You need to
My
check
man's
that extra
groceries
luggage,
are in
sir.
the cart.
That was more baggage than you were allowed on this flight. All right.
Yeah, that's the plus charge, 100%.
And of course,
right
literally
there.
zero expression on Punk's face after doing that.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not smiling about it. He's not
Nah.
like popping off. He's keeping his hands warm. I saw him talking about that. But you know, like you're making sure that down button's working on your pad. It's a good way to make sure that your thumb stays warm. You know, you got to keep these hand warmies going on. There's there's the smile and the laugh and the head nod from Punk. I respect it. I respect it.
Indeed.
But yeah, what's Crimson going to do about this then? Because this is an interesting pick from Punk. Obviously, it's an informed pick. It's one that he's probably put a significant amount of thought and planning into.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that V skill is okay, but she gets nothing off of it at all.
Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, pushed him a little bit towards the corner, but it was really too far to keep the pressure up, right? So you can see actually Mr. Crimson's the one in superior position. Once again, he loves that too. The stand medium punch on block into the crouch fierce works a lot against the people trying to approach afterwards. And the back-to-back.
Yeah, I can promise you he's not going to be teabagging. He just wants to get the job done, Mr. Crimson.
I think you're speaking a little too quickly.
I'm not.
Wait till he gets on a game set stun. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see. I mean, if he only needs one hit, possibly.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here we go. Brimstone.
But
All we gripping.
Mika getting in. Oh, the V shift, the master of the V shift. You know, Mr. Crimson is such a proponent of that mechanic. It's made such a big difference to Dalsim. Nice. He's so good at interrupting that charge roundhouse.
Look at this. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Everything Punk wanted to do right now, but he does get the stunner off. Wait, can he open up a can? We'll try to.
Nice.
Again. He's been ready for those. He's been ready for the air teleports. Even when they're TK'd, he's countered that with the EX flying command grab. Ooh. A little bit of a funky situation. I'm surprised Mr. Crimson was ready, but he does stay ready.
Nice awareness of the height on that drill. Took his turn.
We'll call it that. Ooh, and Mr. Crimson trying to get frisky as he lands, ends up getting counter hit. Yeah, Punk looking for a lot of jumps, but Mr. Crimson's slides have been getting him out of a lot of situations. But here, the relentlessness.
Damn, all of the V shifts.
Crimson weathering the storm here will be able to end it.
And the single hit. On it's even right now. And this is exciting, you know. This is a new start again. Like we're not
thinking the exact same thing.
We're not seeing traditional Punk. We're not just seeing him use the characters that we know him for. He's pulling out tools, like tools from a toolkit. It seems to be his approach now to the game of Street Fighter V. He's got a roster of characters. He plays the game. He mains the game. Like Mena, he mains the game. There's a number of players out there who I very convincingly believe could. Oh wow, Rashid could enter tournaments using 11, and you know we've seen Momochi try and do it. I definitely think Punk could do it as well. He switched to Rashid, which is another like off the wall, no pun intended, choice. A character that Mr. Crimson himself uses as well. Now, of course, if he does get the win here, it does offer up the opportunity for Crimson to then switch also, but. No one's in a locked-in situation yet where the character that they move to is going to be the one that they have to play out the rest of the set. So there's still a little bit of room to experiment here. It's 3 out of 5, which we love to see. There's the corner carry. I think this matchup's very, very difficult for Sim. But then so is Nakali as well. He's got a Nakali there if he wants it.
Yeah, perhaps this is over the Nakali for the power of friendship, right? Perhaps channeling some JB. Looking for the homies back home to give him the leverage that he needs. But of course, as you said, Rashid has been a menace in this matchup for a long time now. He's trying to eagle spike, bully his way in. But Crimson, it's the history and experience on Dalsim. You can see the defense is so good.
Yeah, I mean, he uses Dalsim himself, so he knows exactly what's going on. We don't have a lot of high-level Dalsims high-level Rashids in Europe to get like that kind of experience from. There's not an abundance of them, but because he uses the character himself, he's going to be able to utilize that information. But everyone got to guess if you block a normal, and it might be throw, it might be shimmy.
Ooh, but Mr. Crimson, they're picking the right spot to get the wake up buttons, and now we get set up in the corner.
Oh, nice. He manages to navigate the obstacle course that was not enhanced, so the evil spike is punished.
There's pressure, and then immediate anti as well. Mr. Crimson not letting him do anything.
Spends the bar.
The EX.
Are we going to see another change? The Rashid experiment not working out there.
No, power of friendship is dead. Mr. Crimson doesn't care about your anime.
Is he going to go back to character select? Are we going to see the Nakali that we saw earlier on in the tournament? You said that he looks like he's having the most fun with that character. But no.
I would say so.
Yeah. It is going back to character select. I recognize that black loading screen.
One that we are all very familiar with. And I'm very interested to see who. Oh, yeah. Wave to the camera. Say what's up. The dignitaries in the building here. Front row seat for finals day at Riyadh. Ooh. Going back old school, huh? The first time we've seen the Karina all tournament long. Still hasn't locked in just yet. It's almost hard for me to believe that he's pulling this character out. But, you know, Logan, I was going to ask you at the very beginning, you know, we saw Punk playfully do the eyes, the thing that Mr. Crimson did to him.
Yeah.
I think they're going to switch the stages. We saw, you know, the eyes, I see you. And we saw the bagging at the beginning of the first game, or at the end of the first game, I should say. And, you know, going into this set, I've been talking a lot about how Punk seems to just be trying to have some fun, right? He hasn't been really taking the competition as serious as he once did. But with the competitive spirit, the rivalry between these two, and the things that have happened between them, right? A little beef that has festered. I feel like I was going to ask you, do you think he's going into this one a little bit more serious?
I mean, if you go by the tweet that he put out yesterday regarding like the EU NA stuff, it would imply that he's not that fussed about Street Fighter 5 currently, but he plays like he still is, you know, like he is definitely, regardless of you know, what he might say or what people might say about him, because everyone's got a lot to say about Punk. He is still, without a doubt, one of the very, very best. Oh my god, it didn't stun.
Yeah,
this is huge.
Mr. Crimson, you can see now getting to play in the neutral, even at an advantage in this spot, getting close to the corner.
Yeah, not only did he not get the stun, keep him alive, he actually back through him and gave the entire stage back. Oh no, all off. That was all from the miscalculation on that stun, and maybe, you know, that is a slight bit of ring rust, perhaps. I'm not sure, but that's so unfortunate. That round was over and done with.
Stun follow-up combo would have put Dawson away.
Yep.
And now Mr. Crimson in the driver's seat here. Look, riding that momentum from that last game. Punk trying to collect himself. Find an opening. It's definitely tough to do so.
We're looking at set point here for Crimson.
Oh, that could be... Oh, no! Perhaps some of the cold hands that Punk has been talking about. Oh, man.
Mr. Crimson is definitely feeling that result.
Most definitely taking it 3-1 over Punk. Going to be moving on to loser semifinals. Guaranteed top 4 position now.
Yeah.
Tough way for Punk to go out for sure off that just slight not getting enough stun on that first round, and then that second round getting the big crush counter, and then the execution error. Tough breaks, but it do be like that sometimes. You know, we're getting back into the swing of offline things. Gotta try to get the warm hands going and whatnot. But yes, he will be bowing out of the tournament. Good stuff to Mr. Crimson. Going to be moving on. We're going to see him facing who? The winner of, I believe it is Angry Bird and NL, right?
Yes, that's correct. That is going to be our next match on stream as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. Do we have replays today, by the way, guys, on production? Not sure. We had them yesterday. Be nice to look back at some of these character picks. 3 different characters represented from Punk. Crimson just staying with the sim. And I think that kind of feeds into the dialogue that we had yesterday in terms of, you know, Punk's focus and his comfort level at the moment with the game. He shows moments of greatness with all of these characters, but when it comes to the business character for him, perhaps not there at the moment. Maybe he's a focus on other games. We've seen him play in Strive for a bit. We saw him play Dragon Ball Fighters, DNF Duel he's entering now as well. So he is spread thin and spread across a number of other characters as well. You see, he started off, of course, not with Rashid, but this is the first switch that he made at 1-1. It looked pretty even. This was the first game. Here we go. So he opened it up with a win with Mika, and I feel like the Mika pick was doing okay. I'm surprised that he switched so readily. It seemed like it was doing well. I guess the second game in which Crimson leveled it up was a lot more one-sided though than the first game that Punk won. So perhaps that was the thing for him. In terms of this Rashid match, definitely didn't work out. It was very much over very quickly. The corner domination, the ability for Crimson to just deal with Rashid's general approach. He did bite on a couple of traps, standard Street Fighter 5 frame traps and shimmies and what have you, and eventually forced him into this Karen pick. What did you think of this Karen compared to the Karen that we've seen of old?
It had remnants of the Karen of old, right? It really looked like he was going to get it rolling. It was just that big miscalculation on the throw that really halted all of the momentum. It came to a screeching stop. Like, it felt like everything was starting to roll. It felt like he was really going to get into the groove with Karen, kind of what we've seen throughout Street Fighter 5, and that just him surviving that stun and off the back throw, as you said, giving Dhalsim the entire screen to work with again, letting that stun deplete easily, and having to go to him all over again after getting in that first time. I mean, it's just demoralizing on top of it being legitimately very hard.
I think at that moment, after that, he got the hit confirm into the combo, the X Tenko, into the neck, into the other Tenko, into the V skill, and I'm like, yes, this looks like Punk to me. The back throw, it was there. Obviously, Karen's back throw doing a significant, he does 200 stun, which is more than usual. It was not enough to get the stun on Sim. And from that position, the big issue is not just that you've left him alive. Obviously, that's a huge deal, but you've left him alive with the entire stage to back off and just utilize as a zoning character. He doesn't need to go in. And then I think the round after that, there was a number of kind of drops and errors, mistakes. Maybe he was thrown off a little bit by that. Maybe he wasn't feeling the vibe today. But yeah, that first round with the Karen, I thought, okay, here we go. We're back. It was just not to be today, unfortunately.
Yeah, I really think he could have kind of harnessed that again off that crush counter, but it just ended up not coming out. So unfortunately, Punk is going to be bowing out of the tournament off of that. Mr. Crimson, though, looking sharp on the Dhalsim as ever. And now we're going to get to ML and Angry Bird, which should be a ridiculous matchup. Angry Bird has been tearing through the losers bracket, defeating Big Bird and a number of other very talented players on his way in doing so. NL falling just short, going up 2-0 on Gamer B, but Gamer B completing the reverse 3-0 sweep, getting himself into winners finals. NL, of course, he had a whole day to kind of recover from that, right? So you don't have to bring that baggage directly into your next set, which is a big W, honestly. It's a good kind of break for your mental, just a reset in terms of the momentum, especially because Angry Bird was coming off of a hot streak. So really, if they would have played this set yesterday, I think it would have been very dangerous for NL. Today is a much fairer chance for him.
There you can see the games we've got to look forward to. Mr. Crimson versus TBD, and that will be decided from this next match, NL and Angry Bird. As you can see at the back of house, there will be deciders for 7th and 8th and 5th and 6th. I believe the payout is for the full top 8 in order. So we will have deciders for those, and we will inform you of the result. That will not be happening on stream. But of course, we have that winners final awaiting. Also, at least 6 sets for you today. You've seen one of them already. The next one up, NL and Angry Bird. It's a run back. It's a repeat of the first round match. And, it shows how dangerous these random seedings are. The random pairings that we had. It was a fully legit random draw, much like, you know, the likes of the World Cup or the Champions League, drawn out of the cup, and the players were paired off. Some players managed to get a bye. It didn't work out for them, as we saw. Big Bird got a bye, immediately sent to losers bracket, and then immediately eliminated by Angry Bird himself, who then went on a big run in that losers bracket. And that Ken right now is looking world class. I tweeted yesterday, Angry Bird, this Ken, it looks like the best Ken I've ever seen at the moment. Like this Ken out there in 2022, I think this is the best Ken that I'm seeing out there. Like, shout out to other people representing the character. You've got like Ken P out in Japan. You've got guys like Takamura and Jones in Europe. You've got obviously like Cero up there in Canada, and a number of other guys. I think it's Anthony, a guy at WNF who uses.
Yes, Ken. Anthony. Also
I watch these plantain haired guys out here throwing out heavy dragon punches. But for me, bro, just the consistency of the confirms, the aggression, and the way that Angry Bird's been able to condition these guys and open them up, his I'm going to say unconventional use of V-Trigger 1 as well, where he's utilizing the fireball as a get-in tool. I really like that. That's worked out for him as well. We'll see how this goes against NL, because NL seemed to find all of the holes, all of the reads, and he managed to close it out in the first round, man. I'm looking forward to this one, because that set, the first set of the tournament, by the way, on day one, kicked off things incredibly. It looked like it was going to be Angry Bird. We had that warm-up match, of course. Then we had the first match. It was a wash. NL came back and really showed his class, and has continued to show his class this weekend. So these are two guys that are in great form. Can't wait for it, man.
I mean, he is an Angry Bird, but my man's is a crispy bird as well. He has looked the most crisp out of anybody in the tournament for my money. Like, his hit confirms have been so on point. And he rarely misses an opportunity to do so, right? We've seen a couple of low forwards not turn into anything, but it feels about 85 to 90% of the hits have all been confirmed into a DP or an EX Tatsu, whatever have you, including he has the stand medium punch buffers on deck. Sometimes you can see he gets the confirm off. Like, this man is ridiculous on the Ken, so I'm hoping we see it as well. And as you mentioned, one of my favorite sets of the whole tournament was still that first round set between these two. NL offensively has looked like a complete powerhouse. He's very good at picking his opponent apart, kind of reading their habits, but when he gets put on the defensive end, or when he starts feeling the pressure a little bit, that's when we've seen some of the cracks in the armor. So we're going to see if he's got some mental composure here to deal with an overwhelming character in Ken. He could definitely put the screws to you very quickly and make you feel overwhelmed and have that mental stack very pressured.
One of the things that I've definitely noticed, and we kind of pointed this out yesterday, was like NL will reversal for the set, like for the round, for the game. Like if it's a do or die situation, that's when NL is going to reversal. Angry Bird's been reversaling a lot more frequently, and he really cost him in that first set. If you remember, there was a couple of blocked EXDPs that really cost him a lot. So I think in this game, these are two characters that get such reliable looping offense in terms of their Oki on knockdowns, that it's going to be the defensive choices that really make this. Because we know both of these guys are godlike on offense. It's going to be the defensive choices that really make it. Wow, you reach, I teach.
Goodness. And speaking of defensive choices, we see an NL be a little throw happy in this first round. Those were a couple of throws that were punished by the low forward DP. You see, and that's something you got to worry about with Ken, right? Pretty good walk speed when he gets close, but NL bringing out the DP through the fireball. Don't get that for free.
Yeah, that extended hurt box on the Shoto fireballs on recovery is very, very punishable if you've got a decent horizontal range on one of your invincible moves, projectile invincible at least.
And Luca, much more than decent on that DP horizontal range. Right.
It's definitely good enough. Which means that he cannot get too predictable when it comes to throwing out these low forward fireballs. There is a gap. You see, he actually got hit there, so not sure if he was trying to do something in between, but there's max range, that low forward fireball. There is a big punishable gap. You can see
he might have been trying just the DP input and flubbed it.
What I've noticed as well is we would see Angry Bird way more consistently do low forward fireball at that range. He's just throwing out just a raw low forward at that range. So it doesn't get predictable. There he uses the V-trigger again as a get-in tool. As the EX Fireball needs one more touch. But I think so does NL in this situation, to be honest with you. The jump in, he gave it to him. I'm not sure if he thought that.
No, finish your thought.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if he thought that the NL was being completely focused in the ground in that moment as they were playing very, very tight footsies. But NL, of course, has those reactions.
Most definitely. I think Angry Bird hadn't jumped up until that point, right?
Yeah.
So he really saved it to try to catch him off guard at the end of the round. But NL looking composed. We talked about kind of in those pressure scenarios, that's where the cracks in the armor show. But he's showing right now that he is composed to start the set.
Yeah, man, that term you used earlier, you've been using it all weekend, that mental stack, and NL's mental stack was well organized. That jump forward corner escape.
Oh, yeah. And now we see Angry Bird not deterred whatsoever, waking up with the buns, but the buns getting him counter hit right now on the verge of stun.
And again, yes, he used the EX Tatsu, it works. That's legit.
So
and that
smart.
saved him from the stun situation as well. Very hard to deal with that.
That saved him from the game, right? Angry Bird would have been definitely down
that's it.
0-1, and instead takes it back off the fireball V-trigger pressure, got him flinching for the kill. Well done.
I love that off of the throw tech situation, immediately going for the fireball into the run canceling V-trigger. You know, it turns your throw pressure that hasn't worked for you immediately into more pressure, and it's perfectly spaced in the corner there. It's really smart the way that he is using this V-trigger 1, because, you know, for us guys that have been playing Ken for a long time, we are just married to the idea that this V-trigger 1 does so much damage. And Ken's damage is pretty good anyway. So he's utilizing this V-trigger 1 as a pressure tool, as a way to continually get more plus frames, in the same way that, say, like you know, early Urian or Boxer now will use like an EX horizontal moving special move in order to get in and be plus and maintain that pressure. He's using this fireball and the V-trigger as a way to get here in and keep them pinned down in the corner. And it's a very, very interesting strategy.
And, you know, even outside of V-trigger, his fireball game so far in this set has been immaculate. And really all weekend, you highlighted how much he uses it as a poke, right? And that's how you got to use Ken's fireball. It's not some type of projectile zoning bully tool.
No.
It is definitely something you use to extend his range. And he has just been annoying his opponents so perfectly with it. Yeah,
I mean, you need to put that fireball out to allow yourself to walk into the space where you can get that low forward out, you know. Luke's got that back roundhouse. He's got forward fierce that are both going to outrange, and that medium kick as well, that are both going to outrange the crouching medium kick of Ken. So you really need to dissuade him from being predictable throwing that out. And that fireball does a good job, as NL does a good job of closing out the first round in this second game. Really shut down Angry Bird's forward momentum. And this is, I love them playing on this stage, right? Because that red line down the middle of the stage is a very good gauge of who's actually winning. Both these characters do a ton of damage, so the life bar can often be deceptive, but whoever's getting pushed to the corner is generally going to be losing in this matchup. Bust out with the EX.
Yeah, you can see, and we've been really focused around the center part as it's been back and forth, and look at the life bars. It's very even, right? And now slightly ahead on the screen and slightly ahead on the life bar. It's really being mirrored in game. And now Angry Bird, trying to utilize those fireballs again, right? Putting it in the front of his mind. That's again allowing him to walk a little bit more forward as the NL hesitates.
Nice.
Ooh, just already committed to the fireball, so no big damage off that. Now Angry Bird, you can see, I love it, just the way he walks forward. Like, it sounds dumb, but the way he does it is just so smart, honestly.
Oh, wow, the
again,
delay.
The hezzy and the last hit of the DP enough to kill. The calculations on this man.
The delay was sick. He's really got a timing down on NL's throw tech. Wow, he actually tried to bait that DP out with the EX Tatsu.
Yeah.
Like, he knows that NL's going to cross-cut. That's a given. Like, NL does not miss cross-cuts. Now the corner.
Goodness, a couple.
Plus frames again. Yep. He's only +1 after that, so he can't really walk in and do anything at all. NL with the check. The hit confirms have been so reliable, though.
Ridiculous. Like you just low forward hits, you can count on it. Boy, I already committed to the fireball that time though.
No!
Ooh.
That was
and
such a
then going
sick
to
micro walk and block. Like, he blocked it,
Yeah.
then micro walk forward. NL was like, okay, you're going to try and walk in behind this button. I'm going to throw it out again. And he got caught. He hit him on block. It wasn't a confirm. Flew up into the sky. And like Angry Bird, bruv, he's looking very dangerous.
Like you talking about the micro walk, and that's exactly what it was. But it feels like a microaggression.
Yeah,
like the way he walks.
It's
forward,
menacing, right? Why are you approaching me menacingly?
It's like, why are you doing this? He just has like an aura around him, and to get another hit confirmed. Yeah. Angry Bird, the momentum out of control right now. Gets the stuns. He's seeing more than just an Angry Bird right now. He's going bird watching.
I like that.
Oh, the back though. That's enough. Yeah.
You're done. 160, 200. There was no calculation needed on that back throw.
No. Angry Bird ridiculous right now.
Takes his turn. He likes that stand light punch crouching medium kick string. On counter hit, it does link, and obviously it gives you the opportunity to test to see whether they're walking back as well. When your hit confirms, oh, he thought that was a whiff punish. When your hit confirms are as reliable as Angry Birds are, like stand jab into low forward is a really good string just to check to see if your opponent is trying to walk out of range. He's going to get some good corner carry here. Maintains the EX bar though, because he wants to get that super. You know how reliable that is.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen so many low forward confirms. This time commits to the fireball, committing to the CA as well. Yeah. This is going to put NL on life support here, and the Oki afterwards. Wait, so with the CA, and it actually does hit. We've seen NL go to this with his tournament life on the line. Works out this time. Angry Bird did live. NL got some V trigger. Yeah, gonna try to use it to bully him back. But you see Angry Bird, the micro walk.
Wow, what happened there? That was like it went through. What? That was weird. I'm expecting the sandblaster to clip, and then it just, like the range of it just vanished, didn't it? Right in front of his face. That should have been NL's game, but it was just outside of range. And Angry Bird manages to close it out with the fireball, man. And what a close game. The hard read from NL. We've already seen him like not scared to do wake up super in this tournament. He knows that after the double dash, Ken's only +1, so he's going to try and take his turn regardless. He bet it all on that CA, and I thought that CA was going to kill him, not going to lie, but it did not. The scaling kicked in, and Angry Bird was still in it. He fought his way out, fought his way through the V-triggers as well, the V-trigger projectiles. He was able to block those and maintain his composure. His use of that fireball, so solid, as you pointed out, and he managed to close it out in the end in terms of the run back. He has his revenge, and he marches on through the bracket. He started out in the first round being sent to losers, and now he is here in the final four. He's done it the hard way. No easy path for him. He's beaten world champs. You know, he's beaten some of the top players in the world. He's beaten people that know him better than anyone else in the community, know his gameplay inside out. He come off the back of a win last week. Angry Bird looking very, very strong, but there's a lot of very, very strong players in this tournament. So let's see how he does up next. He will have to face Mr. Crimson. Let's pull up this bracket if we can, just to remind us how it looks, if that's okay, production.
I definitely think he easily had the hardest path, as you mentioned, right? Like, it is ridiculous the type of opponents he had to go through. And man, I'm so glad he ended it with that fireball. I can't believe the confidence of all of Angry Bird's decisions. You know, you talked about the micro walks and how it feels aggressive. It feels menacing. Everything he's doing has so much confidence behind it. The fact that he knew that that live fireball was just outside the range, it had to be just a couple of pixels away. Hopefully we get to see that in the replays here. And look at the fireball, the fact that he still had confidence in it to make sure it clipped the recovery of that. I mean, he just knows everything.
Yeah, and this corner pressure was just incredible. Whether it was the the shimmy, whether it was his staggered pressure in terms of the delayed crouch medium punch, his corner pressure was so good. But here we see NL not being thrown off. Angry Bird thought he could steal an easy game win with the jump. There's the bait, the EX Tatsu making the DP whiff. So clever. Makes it so hard to reliably anti-air Ken from those ranges. And again, we're seeing this corner pressure. Here we go. The throw. He's going to throw. That's so plus, by the way. The EX fireball into the run is very plus.
and he just sits there, right? Gives you a moment to flinch. When a character is right on top of you like that, it is so difficult to not press something eventually. And he gave him the perfect window to do something and then counter hit it. And I mean, Angry Bird just had that timing crisp throughout the set.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Look at this dominant round, the back throw doing it. That was as close to a perfect as you can get without getting one.
Oh, here we go. We're going to see it right here.
Yeah, this is it. This is the last moment. He's still got that V trigger. It's gone now. Look at that. Just vanished in front of his face. If it had been a pixel closer, it would have hit him before that fireball came out, and it would have been NL still in. But Angry Bird, man, there is no more emphatic way to get your revenge than beating the man who sent you to losers 3-zip in the run back.
And remember, you highlighted the extended hurt box on the fireballs as well. So if like he did it just a couple of frames earlier, he also would have got hit by that. So just a ridiculous type of play from Angry Bird. I'm really impressed. And again, he has been tearing through the losers bracket ever since dropping down to NL, completed his revenge. And yeah, I'm not sure if we're getting him and Mr. Crimson next or our winners finals, but either way, it's going to be a blockbuster of a match.
Absolutely. I believe we're going to be running the losers bracket next, but if we can get that the graphic up, that would be very much appreciated, and we can confirm that for you guys.
Yeah, we will definitely get on that. It seems like it is going to be Monsieur Crimson.
So this is your final four. We've got our losers semi-final, which is going to be Mr. Crimson and Angry Bird. And we've got winners final still to go as well. Mena RD and Gamer B switching the order up. That's going to be tough because whoever loses in winners finals is going to have to go and play immediately in losers finals off the back of that tough loss. It's really difficult to process losing in winners finals because it's a very uphill battle. You're looking down the barrel of having to play someone who's hungry and on a hot streak in the losers finals, and then the process of I'm going to have to beat this guy in grand finals twice. Very mentally taxing doing that straight from winners finals. So that's going to be a big match. That having that winners advantage is going to be huge. I do not envy whoever has to go down to losers in this. But the person they're going to be playing, we're going to determine that next. It's going to be either Mr. Crimson or Angry Bird. EU, EMEA. I'm extending the bracket here. I'm giving you Menard for NA.
Well, yeah, and I want to highlight the fact that if we do give me Menard for NA here, it is actually 4 distinct regions, right? We got Mr. Crimson representing EU, we got Angry Bird representing the Middle East, we have Mena RD representing North America, and Gamer B representing Asia. That is what we want when it comes to international competition, right? We want the best from every region clashing in the Final Four.
Absolutely. We know what our Final Four is going to be, and we are going to be running down to a single victor at this massive event. Global Esports Tour 2022 has stopped in Riyadh City, and these players are fighting it out over a $50,000 prize pool, the kind of money that you just haven't seen recently. Like online tournament, it's carried us over for the last couple of years. God bless you for giving us organized online play, but this is where it's at, man. This kind of pressure, you don't find this online. This is the big one. The Final Four, we're going to be running through that after this short break. Thank you very much for joining us. Let the people know we're on. I want as many people watching this action as possible. We have not seen 4 different regions in a top 4 for how long? It's been far too long. You're going to get it today. We'll see you after this short break at the Global Esports Tour. Myself and Ringe will be here waiting for you when we come back. during the Gamers 8 Festival, 8-week-long festival celebrating video games, including exhibitions, esports, all kinds of manner of things are happening across the city during this festival. One of them is the small matter of a $50,000 invitational prize pool. And we have already seen 10 of these players eliminated. We're down to our final 4. It's time to determine who is going to be taking the lion's share of that enormous prize pot back. We have an elimination match now to play as we await Gamer B versus Mena RD in winners finals. But it's going to be Mr. Crimson against Angry Bird. Going at it now, elimination style. And both of these guys have had incredible runs in the losers bracket.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been super impressed with Mr. Crimson and Angry Bird throughout the Street Fighter V, but especially this weekend. Angry Bird completing his revenge on NL, getting the 3-0 victory to get into this bracket, and then Mr. Crimson taking down Punk in 3-1 fashion on the signature Dawson. Both of these players are at the top of their game, and in an elimination match, I know the sparks are going to fly.
Absolutely. Angry Bird, what can we say about this guy? The way that he's been playing has looked incredible. The Ken's been super on point, but I do not think that we will be seeing the Ken in this matchup, particularly. A very tough one. He has a number of other characters at his disposal, and I think Rashid will be, making the most sense. Judging from the history, and obviously I've watched Big Bird play that matchup a number of times in Europe. It definitely makes it a lot easier to deal with. Now these guys obviously have a lot of history against each other as well. It would be great to see the Ken do the business, but I just can't see him doing it, man. There we go. Immediately. Yeah. He knows what he's about. There's too much on the line to be doing it for the character purists.
Yeah. It was funny because he was on the player 2 side, so he started on Ken. That was like the little bit of false hope that we got, because he would have never even considered the character, right? He's definitely going to the Rashid. 50K on the line. He's looking to give himself the best chance to win, starting at the character select, because as you mentioned, Logan, that's where the match starts.
All right, here we go. Immediately in. Nice jab check, though. No bar to really get anything off of it.
He's showing early, right, that he's willing to check the forward dashes. Ooh, and ready with the heavy punish on the anti-air. But Angry Bird, his relentlessness has been one of his hallmark traits all weekend.
Absolutely. He's doggedly just getting in by any means necessary. Nice. And he gets the juggle as well. V-shift makes him waste the whole bar. That hit deep, and he goes for the throw reset. Big life lead. Oh my god, he got the crush counter.
I can't believe this. Angry Bird somehow wins that first round. And it just looked like he was constantly trying to challenge, right? Even on hit with that crouch or that stand medium kick, going with the big fears, and he got what he needed.
Absolutely, man. There was nothing stopping him getting in. Very fortuitous that he did end up getting that crush counter. But in the end, boy.
Ooh, that was a sick snipe right there. The rising jump roundhouse.
The bar is spent to make a statement. The 2 EX combo getting the kill. No messing around here. We're in the last stages of this tournament. Final 4. You do not want to be leaving anybody alive. All of these players are certified killers, even if it's on a pixel health against a perfect bar.
I can't believe this, man. Angry Bird, the aggression again paying off, but he couldn't complete the crush counter. It's a little rough. Universal get out of the corner, trying to play games with him, puts himself back in the corner instead. That could spell disaster. Oh, never mind. Just gets right out with a V skill. Big challenge for Mr. Crimson. It keeps him grounded. I gotta let Rashid play those air games, but the whirlwind clips him, and now we're in the corner.
Again, he just loves that off the wall as well. He's so proficient at using it. I really enjoy how Angry Bird is approaching. Wow, the punish. He was ready.
So good right there, right? Going with the throw off the initial V break, -2 scenarios, sees the V shift afterwards, doesn't get the slowdown because it's a whiffed throw, and sweet punishes. Angry Bird is super clean. Outcast fresh.
Yeah, in those +2 situations, if you go for the meaty throw, which it would be obviously at +2, you go for the plus throw, sorry. If they V-shift, you get a guaranteed punish, and you need to just be aware of that. You need to be ready for that as soon as you press that throw button in that situation. All he needed was the sweep to get it done. He didn't need a big combo, but there's obviously lots of situations when you can punish them heavily, and we've seen that already today. And again, he puts him in the corner.
Oh, man,
The timing! Bro, the timing on these crush counters are flawless. Absolutely flawless. There's a slide activate. Slightly meaty, so he got away with it.
And
it doesn't matter. There's no way. How'd you keep this man out?
I don't know.
No way.
He just navigated past the anti-air somehow, too. Like, his timings have just been completely ridiculous. All right, there we go. Mr. Crimson adjusting his anti-air choices, right? Make sure he doesn't whiff. Oh, but again, another big chop.
But the timings of these stand fierces and crouch fierces and how he's been getting these crush counters is so impressive.
Oh, and then switching it up, going with the eagle spike. Mr. Crimson getting fully juggled, now seeing stars. Bird all in the corner. Yeah, try for the tick throw. Big read from Mr. Crimson right there. He's going to turn it around. That's the counter hit as well.
And he's out. It takes only the single medium hit, which is a big win for him. Got to take this pressure, though. Oh!
It's wild to see him get out and then get right back in so quickly, so often, right? Like, he only gets out to put himself at optimal range to get back in immediately. And the way he could do it with Rashid is plentiful, and he's really utilizing all of it.
Yeah, his use of Rashid's movement options is really, really impressive. And again, watching him play his Rashid, watching him play his Ken, you can see he's coming to both of these characters with like a lot of fresh ideas, because his Rashid doesn't look like other Rashids that I've seen play. His Ken doesn't look like other Kens I've seen play. He's coming with very different strategies as he gets absolutely flambéed by Mr. Crimson trying to stop a 3-0 whitewash. But he's going to have to maintain this movement to get around the obstacle course that Mr. Crimson's laying down. Damn, what?
Very sick.
That went straight through the EX. That was so weird. What an interaction.
Now, Angry Bird, unfortunately, for Mr. Crimson, has his opportunity once again. Ooh, dodging the V-break, but can't make the most out of it.
Bro, my man is making galactic brain reads.
It's wild. Ooh, pressing on the plus frames. We ain't never scared.
I like using the roundhouse as well, because he doesn't care about a punish on block with Sim. What does Sim do to that?
There
Definitely
we go.
cares about getting hit by meaty slide, though. And Crimson is not going to go down 3-0. Is it going to be the comeback? We've seen a lot of momentum shifts from 2-0 down. Who was it that won 3 straight back-to-back? Was that Gamer B against NL that went 2-0?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, anything can happen. These guys are so evenly matched. The momentum can swing one way or the other. It can just be game for game. Either way, it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen here. But what we do know is that Angry Bird is going to be all over this screen, and Crimson is going to be fighting for his life.
Ooh, the beautiful hesitation right there on the crouch fierce. Caught him flinching with a big crush counter again. Angry Bird just finding these over and over again. Oh, and
yeah, the slight delay on another crush counter.
Oh,
sick. Oh.
Shifted the V-break. Yeah, plus frames just takes the throw here. Angry Bird sitting on the V-trigger. Can't believe he just woke up off the wall, and enough damage off that. Well done for Mr. Crimson.
Yeah, Crimson is really coming out on top now in these scramble situations. It was Angry Bird that was just smothering him with options, but now it seems that Crimson is ever so slightly getting the best out of these situations. Despite the counter hits that he's eating from Angry Bird, the crush counters as well, in the end he's just managing to somehow find victory, even though he's getting just pinned down, harassed in the corner, teleports out, and he gets the screen to work with now. There's the activation. No punish, though.
Yeah,
able to get that.
And Angry Bird with a big jump over does get his punish. Mr. Crimson has really picked his spots perfectly with these challenges. His stand jab. Got like 3 counter hits in a row, but it's not enough to save him for this round. Angry Bird now on set point.
Yeah, man, this is like a wild... This is like one of those UFC fights where the pace is so high you can't see him go past round 3. Like, it's a 5-round title fight, but there's no way these guys are not going to be gassed by the end of round 3. And they are swinging for the fences right now. I can see why, you know, Angry Bird is feeling the pressure and feeling the drain here. He's going to teleport in. No!
He shakes out of the stun in time and not eat the setup.
Bro!
Oh,
no,
this could
not
be
like this.
Very bad for Mr.
Not
Crimson
like
now.
this.
Gets a big tech throw and a V reversal. Got some breathing room, but takes it away immediately with the whirlwind from long distance.
Bro,
And
another counter hit.
Hesitation. Here we go, Logan. You got to guess for game now. Ooh, not flinching so far.
He
V reversals him in the
off.
corner.
Bro, that throw did like 250. There's the pressure. All right, and this is an even money game again.
V skill.
Oh!
Committed to the V shift
He didn't
after.
punish the V skill. Like,
Oh,
he didn't punish the V skill.
Yeah, he didn't.
He went for the fierce that's not guaranteed, and because he V shifted and caught literally nothing at all, that's why he got the punish. Now, I'm not sure if that was a hard read, and he thought, yeah, you know what? He's going to backdash here. He's going to V shift here. I'm going to use a slower attack. But that was a really fascinating interaction in terms of decision making.
Yeah,
Wow,
would he just
slides
not
to
have
the
had a punish from that range? Like, would he have only gotten something for a block?
Let me look that up, sir, whilst you call the action.
All right. Yeah, Angry Bird who trying to bring up this aggression again. And this is something I was a little bit concerned with to start this set. Would this aggression be effective in the long term? And right now, Mr. Crimson has brought it back. Definitely has had some smart reads on defense now. Angry Bird, the one in the corner, and gets low crushed, low profiled by the slide. And then the headbutt. We're on the verge of stun now. And he gets the counter hit, reading the fact that Angry Bird had all that meter on deck, right? The CA. Angry Bird thought Mr. Crimson would respect that, so he tried to wake up with buttons, but Mr. Crimson staying true with the meaties and is now on set point himself.
Would have been -6, so he could have got something there. Nothing significant, I guess. So he wanted to just try and make the most and overextend, and boy, did it work out for him. But here we go. Mr. Crimson somehow is at set point. We said it. It could happen. These momentum swings are wild and crazy.
My goodness, surviving for now. Oh, got caught trying to press something.
Oh, pressing buttons after the blocked mixer and counter-hitting Mr. Crimson. He's out of that flames. Doesn't want anything to do with that damage.
We already have covering his whiff throw so effectively. Plus frames for days. Mr. Crimson with the big tech throw. I can't believe he risked that.
Gets a
the
cross counter of his
himself.
own. And he's definitely not going to miss this. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, and he takes it. And Mr. Crimson, look how much it means to him.
Oh, yeah.
Look how much it means to him. The 3-game comeback. We saw him pounding the table when he managed to get the dub against Punk. Stands up with his head in his hands, looking up at the sky. He can't believe that he made that comeback. And Angry Bird, looking unbeatable in losers bracket, has somehow managed to throw a 2-0 lead here. And Mr. Crimson digs it out. What an incredible, gutsy performance, showing such mental resilience to be able to do that.
I don't know how he makes so many defensive choices in a row correctly. Like, he just consistently, after those first 2 games, was able to just squeak out by to the nail, grinding out these W's. And we saw so many successful challenges with the stand light punch in situations where he could have got killed for it, right? Like you say, he was pressing buttons on plus frames, but somehow he just knew a lot of the time when to do it, right? And we've always highlighted that when it comes to Mr. Crimson. His ability to cycle through the defensive options might be the best in Street Fighter V, bar none. And he shows that once again. Even with his back against the wall, 2-0, he made such smart adjustments just in general with his neutral, right? Shutting down a lot of the V skill attempts, even preemptively. He used his slides a lot smarter. He was able to get into the air and use the jump medium punch as well to kind of air to air his opponent. It was just overall something that I was very impressed with. I mean, how could you not be? 3 games back on Angry Bird, who was looking in prime form. Ridiculous.
I have no idea who's going to win this today. Literally any of these remaining players could take it. I've seen everything. And this is the excitement of international competition. I feel like at this level, everyone's evenly matched. Like, you can look at regional rivalries and you can see like there's clear like hierarchies in region by region areas.
Yes.
You know, IDOM, he's there at the top. He's got the results. Angry Bird, Big Bird in their region, clearly ahead. Guys like Problem X, Mr. Crimson, Phenom, Luffy in Europe, just clearly ahead. Infectious, the 4 Phils. But at this international level,
Yup.
everyone's a killer. They're all like that. And, you know, you're seeing turnarounds where, like, look, Crimson with that perfect round, then Angry Bird just closing out the first game and then smothering him in this second game, closing it out, cross counters everywhere, counter hits everywhere. 2-0 up. Mr. Crimson somehow manages to stay alive, saves set points as well. And the momentum just is with him. And these guys at this level, it's what makes it so exciting. It's been really fun watching regional competition and discovering new players. But when you watch this level of Street Fighter, this level of any fighting game, let me not be biased, this level of any fighting game, they're all godlike. And it's like watching, you know, the Battle of the Gods as a mortal man. Sparks are flying, energy bolts are coming off. Like, I can't relate to any of the stuff that these guys are doing, only in imagination and theory. But these guys are pulling it out, and it's incredible to watch. I've missed it so much, man.
Oh man, exactly. I couldn't have put it better, honestly. This is what we live for when it comes to fighting games. Seeing the best of each region able to meet offline and environment on equal footing and really see who's the best. And as you mentioned, it just seems to always come out that way when it comes to fighting games nowadays, right? We have our upper echelon of each region, and somehow they're just all on this elite level that is just immaculate, and we get to see them come together here in Riyadh to battle it out. Incredible sets all weekend. Now we're down to 3 players, and I mean, we're going to get our winners finals next, which is going to be Mena RD versus Gamer B. All of that action that we just saw was losers. All that immaculate Street Fighter play, some of the best we've ever seen, that was in the losers bracket. So we're going to get our winners finals next, which is the 2 players who have also been playing completely ridiculous on that Luke. As you see the schedule and the way it's been broken down, we even got the set scores in the middle for you right there. The next match is going to be determining who gets in that grand finals winner's side between 2 top dogs.
Absolutely. Mena has just been doing a very efficient job with this Luke. This character pick has just been doing the business for him. We mentioned about that with Punk, like a business character, a character that's just getting the job done. And Luke has been getting the job done for him and Gamer B. Somehow they've been clutching out victories. They've just been getting over the line by any means necessary. And at this level, because everyone's so evenly matched, that's what it's all about. Are we going to see a Luke mirror match? Are we going to see some, you know, off-the-wall picks? Mena's got a lot of characters in his pocket, and he might have some wild ideas about going into Luke because he knows so much about the character. From that perspective, he might have a counter pick ready. Gamer B, he's been utilizing an array of characters. Some surprising, we saw him use Lucia to win his first game in this winners bracket against Cien for the Seth matchup. And again, a character that we know so little about, we see so little of in competitive play. These kind of tactics and strategies are what make it very exciting because these guys are approaching Street Fighter V with their own thought processes, their own play style, and they're all converging here at these international events. I've missed it so much, and I'm really excited for this one. Mena has to be, looking to make the most of his opportunity. He got to grand finals in CEO, wasn't able to close it out against Idom, the monster who is out there right now in North American Street Fighter community, and obviously not with us this weekend, but he's going to be there at EVO. All of these guys want to get that big dub going into EVO next week. It's so important for them to get these big results. We've seen how much momentum helps. It's at this level where they're so evenly matched, it starts to become the mental game more than, you know, raw ability. And like we spoke about on Friday, it's a very close game based on decision making and confidence. And I know you know a lot about that in terms of the theory. You've done a lot of reading and listening to very smart, very experienced pro athletes talk about that.
Most definitely. I mean, sports psychology, I think, is something that very much applies to competitive fighting games and competitive gaming in general, right? I've been fascinated with Samurai here in North America from way back because he was always one that was a real proponent of getting into that side and kind of tapping into that sports psychology to apply it to fighting games, right? And of course, that's something we highlight with the short memory, right? You have to have that ability to kind of let go of certain mistakes and not move forward with the game plan because a lot of the time it holds you back. And baggage in general is just something that people have to deal with in fighting games, whether it's from game to game, whether it's from character iteration to character iteration. It's important to let that stuff go and kind of be in the moment when it comes to playing in these big environments and concentrating on getting that W when there's $50,000 on the line, right? And both of these players here coming into it with Luke, and both very experienced. They've been to the top of the mountain. Gamer B has had multiple tournament victories. Men RD, Capcom Cup champion. Both of them have been doing it for years at this point. And
Yeah.
it's funny because they are pretty different in terms of age, right? Men RD still very young. Gamer B starting
I
to
think
move
Gamer
on.
B is at least 20 years older than
Yeah,
Mena, which is crazy. Like, I don't know if he might be double his age.
legit.
Very, very possibly might be double his age. But that's the beautiful thing about fighting games, man. Like, it's one of the few genres of competitive video games. Like, because the word esports didn't exist when, Valle and Daigo were swinging it out in a smelly, crowded arcade full of kids trying to watch one screen. A lot of these guys have been like, it's one of the only games where people have been playing since, the early to mid 90s at a competitive level, and they're still playing now. It's a real rarity in that sense, and we are seeing how age is not a factor in terms of your performance in game. Obviously, there are other factors that come in as you age, but in terms of your reaction, your strategy, your ability to execute, very, very evenly matched. And it's great that we can see people from the four corners of the planet, but people with such disparate age brackets as well, going up against it here in Winners Final. Fantastic to see. It's really exciting.
That's one of my favorite things about esports now, right, in competitive video gaming, getting a bit older, is we get to see generations clash, and then no better place to see that than in fighting games, because as you mentioned, guys that have been doing it since the beginning are still doing it. Shout out to Arturo holding it down for a long time, Gamer B in that same boat, and then we get players like Mena RD bursting onto the scene, bringing their own brand of Street Fighter, their own brand of fighting games to the table, and it's as good as the players that have been doing it for 20 plus years. It's a beautiful thing. Now again, in this Mena RD already off to a control in the round. We've talked about how clean his Luke has been, his footsies, every decision he's been made is just so on point. But Gamer B, remember, he roared back from a 2-0 deficit yesterday. He's been showing the heart of a champion. And when it comes down to the winners finals in these tournaments with people that are on your level, a lot of the time you got to dig deep, and it's that grit that gets you the W.
Absolutely, absolutely. The W there for Mena in the first round. And Mena's been a lot more mobile here, using a lot more of the projectile. No bad confirm. I think Gamer B's confirms, though, are really, really impressive, man. And again, really highlighting the fact that age is not really an issue when it comes to those kind of reactions. Mena a lot more active as well.
Oh,
and getting punished for it there.
Another DP there, man. RD definitely trying to turn up the aggression a little bit on Gamer B with his back against the wall. Has to eat that. Ooh, but the plus frames are challenged. You saw that like hesitation right there. Try to get Gamer B to commit to something on the ground, but Gamer B committing to something that was going to put him in range to make Mena RD block. Beautiful decision. And both of these players, they're starting the set on even footing. Definitely looking quite matched here. Yeah,
a lot of sand being blasted at the moment.
You got to establish that, right? Especially at this level where you know your opponent's not going to jump a lot. Like, you got to just take advantage of the projectile game and use it to poke.
Actually punishable now at that range, which we love to see. Yeah, Mena is hungry for this activation. He's swinging. That's like the third sweep that he's put out there, just trying to activate.
Finally finds it. But we'll see what really happens afterwards. How is he going to make the most of it? Right now, Gamer B looking so solid. There's the confirms you highlighted. Now we got the EX follow-up. Guess for game. Great tech throw to survive.
Oh, another whiff. Yeah, Mena is just... He's trying to be a little bit too proactive here. And Gamer B has definitely identified that he is going to be able to just sit back and wait for these moments. We said... previously, like how good Luke is in terms of his forward-moving normals and whiff punishing. I think we were talking about that during the NL Gamer B set, where we were just watching players back up. But this character just presents so many issues in terms of his ability to convert off of your whiffs, and he does have lingering buttons of his own. Like if you do whiff things like forward fierce, if you do whiff things like stand fierce or medium punch like that. You know, they are going to hang out there. They do move forward, but they do have a decent amount of recovery as well. And we're really seeing GamerB make the most. Another whiff punish again, but Mena breaks out and pushes him towards the corner.
Yeah, and Luke is one of the best characters at whiff punishing, Luke. I think you said that probably on day one. And we're seeing that right now from GamerB.
Yeah, his whiff punish game's crazy, bro. I mean, he's not quite on the level of Karen in terms of what he can get off of them, unless it's like a stand fierce. But outside of that, bro, like, he's so good at least whiff punishing you into a knockdown.
Mm-hmm. Definitely gets a consistent reward, and that's all GamerB is looking for right now is stability, and we get a whiff punish this time from Mena RD, though.
That was kind of like an option select block where he just did a delayed button in case that button whiffed.
That's a big part of whiff punishing, honestly.
Nice.
Oh, and cuts him off at the pass. Mena RD confirming all the way into the CA. No cheap dates here. Takes the first round. Yeah, all right. Rocking a little bit in the C. Feeling it. Oh, yeah, that is punishable right there, that stand jab. But, of course, he can chain it into the target combo, so. Got him moving forward, and Mena, the hesitation right there, catching GamerB.
Yeah, makes the most of it as well. Spends the EX bar, gets the optimal combo for the damage and stun. V-trigger gets the knockdown. Mena knows that he can't extend. And now again, GamerB backing up. Just using the normal sandblasters, not wasting that V-trigger. You know, it builds back.
Very smart, right?
I like him using that knockdown to V-skill up as well. Yeah, I know I just spoke over you about saying the same thing. We noticed that.
Yeah, it was a great maneuvering from GamerB, right? And I really do like the fact that he hasn't been overzealous with the V-trigger. He hasn't wasted it at all, just utilizing this fireball game. And again, both of these players are so disciplined on the ground. Nobody's jumping, right? So you can definitely do some fireballs. Maybe somebody breaks out a hard read DP, but I don't think they're taking that risk right now.
And no one wants to play inside that range as well. Mena's starting to creep in, but he gets a crush counter sweep.
That was ridiculous from GamerB. Like the fact that that fireball game was going back and forth, and he was able to get into the range to sweep at the end, and another whiff punish after.
Back roundhouse, classy. I like GamerB's patience here because he knew he was sitting on a lot of resources to work with. He had the V skill up, which meant that he had the option of a big whiff punish or just throwing out that medium flash knuckle and blocking it, being safe. He's got the V trigger still there, and he wasn't using it, as you said. He was just using the normal V trigger, and then he had the super as well. If he got to a point of it being a chip situation. So really good patience from GamerB.
Yeah, looking incredible on the ground so far. And you can see that how potent this fireball is at this level, man. It's so difficult to deal with from both sides.
Yeah, that thing's so fast, man. So fast. You really have to preemptively jump, which is why you can see both of these guys like trying to be really unpredictable with their projectile timings. No!
Mena RD baiting out the EXDP.
The smell of fear. And another one.
I respect that GamerB. Like many of us at home, I am also a back-to-back EXDPer, so I get it. Mena RD, though, getting the hard read. Sometimes you don't expect it at that level, but Mena RD, definitely well aware. Sometimes you just gotta do it, Logan. I don't know if you like to back-to-back EXDP, but I don't play a lot of characters with invincible reversal, so when I do, I go wild.
Yeah, I'm just waiting. Like the third one will work. Trust me. That 30 XDP, no one expects the 30 XDP.
Ooh, the sweet chin music.
Oh no!
Yeah, dropping.
No charge.
Yeah, -2 on that forward fears.
Yeah.
Surprised man RD try to do something after.
Might have just instant teched, I'm not sure. But there's a jump in finally. We haven't seen many of them at all.
Zero. Except for I think that first round where Mena tried and they got anti-aired. Oh, reaching.
This is going to hurt.
Let him know. Teach him your brand of Street Fighter V right there. Your brand of Luke. Mena RD now. First lead in the set.
try and ascertain what has changed in this matchup.
Oh, just caught him trying to walk back right there, but Gamer B gets the whiff punch afterwards. I don't know what that was.
Unfortunately, drops the combo. Whiff, a lot of whiff buttons now from Gamer B.
Yeah, he's trying a couple of these crouch fierces too. I'm not sure if this is like a flub or if he's trying to catch a button from long distance. Beautiful whiff punish there.
Yeah, that extended recovery and hurt box on that low forward.
Oh.
And again, yeah, Gamer B now playing a lot more reactive, and I like that for him. Let Mena overextend.
Gamer B throwing a lot less fireballs too ever since that one jump in.
Yeah, can't let himself be put off from that though. That's a very important part of the game.
Ooh, nice. The EX beam to the punch. Ah, not a big punish off that though. Flash knuckle. Yeah, I believe it was charged. Caught him trying to walk back.
There's the activation. Yeah, has to go for the medium. Too close. Wasn't meaty, so he can't get the heavy follow-up. B skill up though. So he's got the resources again. You know, you're going to see him chill. He's just going to play at this range.
Yeah, Gamer B has so many options due to that installed V skill. Bust
He's
out
got
the
another
V
one
trigger.
left.
Oh, he saw the button.
Yeah, he knew what his fate was. He knew what his fate was there. You know, the full CA was there. And to be honest with you, I feel like he should have made him spend the CA.
Yeah.
I guess he could have clutched out the round. Like, let me not be negative and say that he couldn't have clutched out the round, but you kind of don't. It always feels bad when you spend a bar and it doesn't pay off for you, and your opponent, who could have chipped you out of the CA, gets the round without having to use any of the bar. Always a bad trade in that situation. There's the meaty throw.
We're spending the +1, didn't have any bar to bust out. Oh no, thought he would commit to a fireball string perhaps. Paying for it dearly with the stun, and the follow-up's going to be enough for Mena to take a lead.
And that was a very, very big round to answer. And Mena's had a really good read on these reversal timings. Like, I can't think of Gamer B hitting a reversal DP in this set that's actually landed.
Nope.
He's definitely been baited out 3 times. Mena can smell exactly what Gamer B is cooking, I guess would be the right phrase there. But yeah, you can definitely smell the fear in him.
And Mena, we've seen him get a couple of successful EX DPs, right?
Yeah.
So whatever he's cooking up, he's laying the smackdown with it.
By God.
Oh, and the forward fierce right after. That's a huge crush counter. You see the reward Luke gets off this. Massive damage. We got the throw set as well. That stun bar is going to be a concern in a minute too. The Gamer B got some breathing room for a second. We'll see if he can make his way out. Beautiful whip punish to start, and the back throw to turn the tables.
Counter hit. He's going to confirm that into the... Woo!
It's out again. Mena RD been so accurate with these reversals, whether on offense or defense. He knows when they're coming. Yeah, plus frames. Gamer B weathering the storm here. Trying to work his way close, but no, working his way into a sandblaster. He wanted to get into activation range. He was fully loaded on resources, but right now Mena RD 1 match away.
And that's why I like Mena going for the projectile heavy game in that instance, because whilst Gamer B had the resources, he had to actually activate to make the most of them, which meant he needed to get into range for something, whether it was a medium kick, whether it was a crouch medium kick. He had to encroach, and utilizing all of those projectiles, it just made it so hard for him to get in. Mena here, set point. Is he going to get into grand finals and win a side? The stun is racking up. Uses the bar for the plus frames. What a brave interruption from Gamer B on the charged heavy flash knuckle.
Incredible challenge right there. The fortitude, and
finally
finds
the
a
EX
successful
works.
one. Mena RD willing to spin the V trigger, trying to bully Gamer B. Doesn't want to give him the space back, but he's got it, including a V skill installation as well. Activates the V trigger raw and gets the full screen punish. Gamer B looking not to go quietly into the night right here, trying to tie up this game. Oh, and there's the jump. He thought he would commit to a fireball, but he gets the anti-air, but it doesn't matter.
No EX.
Living just barely. Mena RD not able to close it out.
Bro, this is ridiculous. He's got the EX bar. If he wants to use it on the projectile.
Oh
my. Double KO, and Mena RD takes it. That's his second double KO of the tournament, right?
Yeah, and he won the entire set off both of them, if I recall correctly. My goodness, Mena RD inching his way forward, knowing he just needed the trade to get into grand finals, and found exactly what he was looking for. My goodness.
Mena RD turning the momentum around, and really impressive stuff from him. You know, he was still very active. He was still very aggressive. He was still very forward moving, but he just started changing up his options a little bit. And when he was able to get a life lead as well, he was very good at kind of like corralling Gamer B into bad options. You know, the best example of that is when he had the life lead at the in that last game, and we knew that Gamer B wanted to activate. There was only one route for his victory there. It became very predictable, and as such, Mena was just able to just dump all of his resources into making that as difficult as possible and close out the round. And I feel like once that was the case, he was able to do that consistently in a number of different ways, because Luke is not a tricksy character. He's a frame advantage, knockdown, whiff punish, big damage kind of character. He's not going to hit you with some gimmicky stuff that's been labbed in the training room, that you like some Street Fighter 4 side switch nonsense. He's straight line power. He's going to hit you in the face. You're going to bounce off the wall. The red bar is going to be this big, and you're going to have to guess on Oki after it. That's basically what Luke's always going to do. But it does kind of make him predictable. And in the instances where Mena was able to identify what the win condition was for Gamer B, he was able to shut that down. Despite all of the whiff buttons and the way that Gamer B was playing, he was still able to shut him down when he had those favorable situations.
And I think one big move in that set was Mena RD getting that first successful jump. Right, we never saw Gamer B actually take to the skies ever, and I mean, I understand, right? It's usually very risky at this high level because people are so consistent with their anti-airs. But when people have such a prominent fireball game, and I know you can't really react to it because it's a hit scan projectile and it's so fast, as you mentioned, you kind of have to commit to the jump. But sometimes you got to show that option just to get your opponent thinking about it, right? Because if it does end up successful one time, it's going to haunt the opponent. We saw that happen with Gamer B a little bit. That one successful jumping with Mena RD really let him dictate the pace on the ground much better throughout the set, because he was kind of in control of the fireball tempo from there on. And Gamer B, I mean, he didn't ever break it out again. We even saw Mena towards the end of the set jump and get anti-aired, but I just like the fact that he's willing to do it. Add on to that mental stack that we've been talking about. Gamer B never showed that hand, and Mena RD kind of took advantage of that by being confident in his way to cut off the pressure on the ground.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at these highlights, and there's plenty of them. There you see one of the many whiff buttons that Mena was throwing out, and he did get punished over and over and over again, but he was just able to eke out wins somehow, some way, coming back from 2-0 down.
Yeah, it was an impressive showing once again from Mena, man. He has just been ridiculous all weekend long. He's in grand finals winner side now, guaranteed top 2. And again, this is a 50K prize pool, so you know he's getting a fat chunk of change, even with that grand final spot guaranteed. But he wants that first place. He's in prime position to do so. And I mean, look at this. Yeah, getting that big jump in, that's what we talked about, right? You can see the corner carry massive damage off of it. And even when they get back to mid-screen, even when they get out of this corner scenario, it just looked to me like Gamer B was a lot more hesitant in his decision making because of that. And Mena RD really started to run away with the set because of it.
Absolutely. Once that momentum started swinging around, it was very, very impressive. You know, here we see this last moment.
Yes, he even trying to check the dash right there. And at this point, Mena RD just trying to inch forward, right? Because we say all he needs is the trade. I'm trying to figure out what the buttons were, what the trade exactly was. Oh, I don't know. It was the EX fireball trading with perhaps a dash, crouch, jab. That's what I'm assuming.
Let me see the startup on that EX fireball, because that's very interesting in that situation. Obviously, he's blocked a fireball just outside of neutral range. That EX fireball, 15 frame startup, so I guess he's like a couple of frames minus. He wouldn't have thrown it immediately as well, so he just had the time to just dash behind it and challenge with that jab, assuming that he's probably going to go for a fireball of his own again. in reply. And that's a fair assumption. You know, you block a fireball, you've got an EX bar there to use. He tried to use that EX bar. I'm just watching the highlight clip again. It's just come up on my Twitter feed. So he's probably assumed that Mena's going to take his frame advantage and throw a fireball back in that situation, and gone for the EX. Mena very smart, took his frame advantage and dashed in, because Luke's still got I think it's a 16 frame dash, 3 frame jab. So very, very, very fast character, very mobile character as well. And got the trade, and that's all he needed, right? He didn't need a big combo. He didn't need a Hail Mary in that situation. He's 1 round up as well, so he can afford to take the risk of the dash up, and it worked out for him. That trade paid off, and he is in grand finals on the winner's side. 50 grand on the line, 50 large in this prize pot, and it is Mena RD, the lone name out of those 14 killers representing here at the Global Esports Tour Riyadh. Mena RD is the man who is in grand finals. Yet again, he was in grand finals at CEO. Here he's in grand finals again. But he will not be facing a fellow North American. It's going to be either Gamer B of Taiwan or Mr. Crimson of France in this international affair.
Yeah, man, Gamer B going to have to bounce back from that winners finals defeat to go up against Mr. Crimson, who is incredibly hot right now and incredibly just emotional, right? He's really feeling the emotional high, I think, of coming off those victories. Obviously, being Punk, we saw the table slam, really feeling that, and then bringing it back, a 3-game straight over Angry Bird. We saw him get up, head and hands, really just feeling the electricity and the environment that he's performing offline right now. I mean, Mr. Crimson, an incredibly hard worker, is a lab monster as well, knows so much about so many fighting games. So I'm glad to see him really excelling here in the international competitive environment. And I mean, he's got one more match to go up against grand finals. It's going to be against Gamer B, who has been looking phenomenal as well, right? His Luke has been super on point. We saw the Lucia as well, as you mentioned at the very beginning of the tournament. I'm interested to see what he goes with against Dawson, because that's a character that sometimes people have certain matchups that they favor in, right? It's not always going to be their certain top tier character that covers most of the spread. Dawson's a funky character, and sometimes people have funky answers for him. So I want to see if Gamer B has one of those.
And of course, we know that Mr. Crimson has his own Luke.
Yeah,
he can pull that out. We saw it. I've seen it in the last couple of tournaments. He might go for the mirror. Who knows?
Gamer B got immaculate posture.
Those shoulders are pinned back.
Like, wow.
Like that.
Goals.
Yeah. He definitely sleeps in a very, very nice bed at home. Although now he's traveling, I can imagine that the hotel beds in Riyadh are pretty top tier.
I imagine so.
Yeah, these men aren't sleeping in any soft travel lodge, Holiday Inn kind of beds. These are definitely going to be top tier sleeps, and I hope these guys are well rested and ready to perform, because it is now losers final time. As we said, Mena RD waiting in grand finals on the winner's side. It's going to be Gamer B probably rocking the Luke against Mr. Crimson rocking any number of characters. We'll find out as they sit down. Hopefully I can see the screen. That's what we want to see. We just want to see the character select screen. It's really fun at the moment as well, because like that's half the game, right? Predicting which characters you're going to see. I think at EVO we're going to see a lot of blind picks.
Yeah, that's always an option.
These guys have just got such a roster, right? Like they've got access to so many strong characters. Everyone's been playing the game for 6 years now. They've got a mastery of the game engine. A lot of these characters you can pick up and get very, very good with in the space of 3 or 4 months. And we're coming into EVO. Everyone's been practicing. Everyone's been working on their strategies. And we're going to see that. I really can't wait to see what happens. But we are here in Riyadh. It is the Global Esports Tour. There is a lot of prize money on the line. And these guys are going to be pulling out their best. Here we go. It's going to be Sim and it's going to be Lucia. So dueling bouncing fireballs. What do you think about this? I have honestly never seen this matchup before.
Yeah, definitely. I cannot recall a matchup where I've seen it played, even with, yeah, Arturo. I mean, maybe who played on the East Coast for a little bit. Shine, I think, played Lucia for a little while, but I don't really
Yep.
recall them kind of crossing paths in this. And if it was a while ago at this point. But what I did notice about GamerB's Lucia is that he really plays at a range where opponents kind of have a tough time getting their optimal
Yep.
combos or follow-ups on him. So we'll see if that maybe is kind of the strategy behind some of this up against Dalsum. Obviously, Dalsum has a whole lot of range, but still, like, he wants to be at certain spaces to get optimal follow-ups, and maybe GamerB is going to be outside that.
Damn, that's going to hurt. And we are back to honors even. Gets crossed up, though.
Yeah, Mr. Crimson tends to start sets with that crouch medium punch attempt at an anti-air, right? He goes to the back medium punch once he sees that certain angles are plaguing him.
Gets caught with a slide activate, and most importantly, Crimson is out of the corner. We did see Lucia earlier on in the tournament, round 1, where GamerB pulled out against Cien Seth, using this V-Trigger 2.
Oh, the neutral jump, he had the combo to kill, but it's alright. GamerB ends up picking up the W anyway.
It was a happy accident in the end, and he was able to close it out.
Mr. Crimson cleaning up the spacing right there. You can tell crouch medium punch working from around start range. Ooh, and yeah, that time it was going to be a little bit too deep, so he takes the air to air and catches some flincher trying to hold up. Because that is definitely what GamerB's strat's been so far. Didn't jump at all last set, but we are taking to the skies here, and Mr. Crimson making him pay for it this round.
Spends the bar. Not enough for the kill. Let's see if he can close it out.
Ooh.
Yes, he can.
Slide on in. GamerB looking down at his stick, perhaps. Didn't get his follow-up to the slide counter hit. Oh, catches him reaching that time.
Yeah. Interruption again, and he gets out of the corner. That's so important here in this matchup. Mr. Crimson always ready, not only with the interruption, but the optimal conversion, which allows him to command the stage. But GamerB has dumped him from corner to corner, coast to coast. Shades of Rob Van Dam. I've never seen him do that suplex, though, I don't think.
No, definitely not, man. We'll be rolling, thundering, Van terminating, but not really using suplex machine so much.
Absolutely. But it is GamerB that is playing like a machine at the moment, and this Lucia is causing problems. Straight back into it, though. It is 3 out of 5, so he's got a bit of room to adapt and adjust.
So yeah, and
imagine...
GamerB, he took this first game here, and I'm honestly getting kind of reminded of the set up against Angry Bird and Mr. Crimson, where the hyper aggression really worked out early, but I'm kind of concerned about its long-term viability.
Nice interruption. Puts him back into the corner. A little bit too far away after that medium punch to maybe go for the crouching medium kick, and then Crimson interrupts. Corner control again, but the V reversal pushes him straight out. Reversal of his own.
Yeah, that EX has been something GamerB's been going to as well. Try to take up that neutral space very quickly. That time he didn't have the bar to use, had to use the regular and got interrupted. And then again, they missed the Crimson with the bag medium kick challenges have been super on point.
Yep, whether it's just been for the kill, for the stun, or for a full conversion on counter hit as well. He has been very on point. He's so good at interrupting. You know, when he starts conditioning you with that like instant gale, we saw that instant gale as an answer to throw straight away in the set. It allows him to start to really open up his options in terms of like on defense. And he's so good at cycling through. I think you mentioned that before, how good he is at cycling through. Another EX reversal works out for GamerB. Yeah, looking for a challenge after that. We saw that work, wow. I think, against... Ooh.
Good stuff from GamerB right there. Getting the grounded punish. As honestly a huge difference maker here. He's got the corner situation, but Mr. Crimson finds
counter hit conversion again. His interruptions have been so good. And they're not just panics. He is converting off of them.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen him get counter hit on a stand jab challenge all day. Like,
yeah, he's got really good call in it as well, because we saw earlier, you know, whilst GamerB was in V-Trigger, he was cancelling buttons into the actual V-Trigger, the nightstick. Like late cancelling and looking for a frame trap, but wasn't able to get the read on Crimson's timing. He's so good at cycling through his defensive options. Not predictable at all.
And man, he is so good at those crouch fierces from certain ranges when people block his normals too. Oh, the empty low. Now you get mixed. Same side high. My goodness, Gamer B not able to survive that one. Dawson with the mix. Street Fighter 5, the best iteration of the character, for sure.
I mean, I think if you spoke to Arturo, he would maybe say like Alpha 3 version, pretty good as well. But for me, like, he's so creative in this game. Like, he's got so many interesting tools. Such a cool fighting game character. Almost doesn't belong in Street Fighter. He's so creative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
All right, we got the stick activation again here, and this is exactly where Gamer B needs to not let Mr. Crimson escape from. It's going to be tough, yeah, he burns a little bit here, but you got to accept that because this is the stage advantage that you need. Oh, beautiful German on the V reversal.
There you go, he finally catches him.
Yeah.
Finally catches him with something into that V-trigger cancel and block. And he manages to... What an even matchup this is. 1-1, 1 round apiece, both full CA.
And Mr. Crimson utilizing that drill. It's time to get back to the optimal Dawson range, but that's what you need right there. It was godlike. Throwing the fireball out. Gamer B just trying to pick his spots very carefully on the incoming. Oh, beautiful walk back on the drill and then getting the landing punish. Lands on the fireball and converts. Mr. Crimson always aware. Yeah, because it was an air hit, not really able to get that confirmation afterwards. Still so even here. Mr. Crimson's got a nice life lead, but Gamer B, whole lot of meter on deck. He just needs one way in. Finds it with a nightstick, but yeah, doesn't convert for the full one. And again, Mr. Crimson challenging at a perfect time. Recovered just in time to not get clipped by that jump in. I can't believe it.
Ready again.
Huge sweep here.
Got to take a bunch of guesses.
And the
manages to make out of it. What a fortuitous situation. Not sure. That looked like maybe a input error. As you watch Gamer B just mash the same input over and over and over again on his stick, which would imply that he certainly put something in that he wasn't hoping for. In that instance, it cost him dearly, and Mr. Crimson now is going to take the lead here.
Great stuff so far to Monsieur Crimson once again. Doing a great job just playing that Dawson game, keeping Gamer B outside the range he wants to be in, making sure that he sacrifices life that he can't afford to on his way in. And honestly, Mr. Crimson, he's been having great resource management as well, right? That last bid was his last V meter. That V reversal was the last thing he had to his name. So he really needed to make it count there, and he did.
Catches him in the air. There's a medium punch. A tick throw. Pushing towards the corner. Backs off, though. Making the most of that space. But that sweep has hit so frequently. Air reset, and he's ready again.
Yeah, that's... Oh,
and the bus out works again.
Gamer B has been pretty accurate with the EX reversals. Crimson has not been looking to bait them. Oh, catches them trying to walk back. You ain't going nowhere, fam.
Where do you think you're going?
Man's got him in here for 3 minutes. And we got the headbutt. Crimson already working to the corner now. Now we're going to see the Dawson game.
Yeah, Crimson was fishing for a big crush counter there after the block drill. Nice interruption again. Bro. So on point with it.
I do not know how he does it. Gamer B. Oh.
Been mad consistent with those sweep punishes.
Jumping even just a micro walk back into the jab on the landing. EX
activation. No, you may not.
Oh, jumps in again. Gamer got him where he wants him, but still it's so tough. Oh,
punish, and he gets a grounded punish. That's a huge deal.
Gamer B been super on point with that. Too much blocks done that time. Reversal, he weathers it. Oh, but the sniper headshot on a defensive choice right there. And if he would have blocked that, it would have been certain death. But Crimson betting good.
Yeah, he was betting on either a throw or a walk forward, and he was right regardless of what that was.
We got to cross him now. This is a great start for Gamer B here. You get Mr. Crimson on set point. This is an elimination point for Gamer B. Oh, catches him reaching, and we're going to get a tied set real quick, perhaps. Lots of damage coming out. Not enough to kill. And that EX Fireball commanding so much space. But Gamer B, all he needs is the trade and finds it. We're going to a game 5 just like I like it.
All right, this is it. Last game of the set, losers finals. Mena RD awaits in grand finals. Gamer B wants the run back. Mr. Crimson wants a slice to get his bite at this very significant $50,000 pie.
That's a pie I'll order any day, I'll tell you what.
I definitely can't afford to order it, but if there's some going, I would not turn it down. Here we go.
Oh yeah, Mr. Crimson looking to cut off those approaches with the crouch fierce, but Gamer B switching it up so effectively right now. Oh, maybe try to expose that gap and got clipped.
Nice, gets underneath.
Oh, holy.
All right, gotta respect the EX run. He gets caught, counter hit. Not sure what he tried to do, but I saw that he had to respect it. The V-trigger activation was there. This corner carry is crazy. There's the tech, no punish.
Yeah, and that drill hit too high. Gamer beginning to punish on him. Doesn't get the full clip though. Now Crimson gets another chance to play. He's got V-trigger. Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta look for the slide activate. Burning up now. This could definitely turn around very quickly.
You gotta take this. Oh, bro.
He tried to fake him out. He tried to hit him with the artillery. Oh my goodness! And Crimson staying disciplined.
How are these man DPing at -2 in losers final of a tournament for 50,000? They're better men than me, I have to say. Even though it didn't work, like you're a real gambler, sir. I respect
you gotta
it.
make those decisions sometimes.
I don't want to play poker with you.
Yeah, no reason, right? Like, I don't know what this fella's thinking. I'm not gonna be able to tell if you're bluffing or not. All right, now Gamer B, look at that. Even with that big bet not working out, still coming out hot in this next round. Trying to whittle down that last bit of a life bar on Mr. Crimson. Goes with the jump. Oh, sweep crush counter afterwards. Ambiguous jump in, but Crimson blocked it. Starting to settle down a little bit. Gamer B trying to close out. Just needs a pixel left. Crimson not really threatening. I was going to say, where's the slide activate? Immediate reversal. Nice awareness from Gamer B again. Knowing that he can probably get the trade off on that drill height, and does. We try to bust out with that EX.
There's the interruption that he's been looking for. He's been buffering the hell out of that.
Yeah, got him to take to the skies, and he was ready. Perfect spacing. Oh, interrupts there as well.
Spacing it again!
Gamer B, he knows when the drill hits low enough to challenge with the EX. Ooh, still in range to throw.
Crimson is going to make this. Bruv, another one!
He got him again, man. Has him in the corner. Oh, no, the EX scale. So active with the buns right now, Mr. Crimson. Trying to close it out, get that last bit of health he needs.
How does Gamer B get in here?
I don't know. Oh, the big
crush counter?
I don't know what Crimson was doing afterwards. German suplex.
Oh my god.
Though. He got to make his way in. The EX and the sniper. He gets the op one more time. Headshot from Mr. Crimson spells defeat for Gamer B, and he will be in grand finals.
What are we saying? If Mr. Crimson wins, does he jump off the stage? Every pop-off for a victory has been bigger and bigger and bigger. He went from slapping the table to hopping up and holding his head in his hands, looking at the sky. There he did like a half lap of the stage.
Yeah,
are we gonna see him jump in the crowd?
Oh,
are we gonna see him run up? Are we gonna see him run up the steps there in on the stage build? And stand on top of the Titantron. What's he going to do? I don't know. We'll find out. Mena RD definitely doesn't want to see it happen, though. Mr. Crimson, what a performance. Like we've pointed out like how good some of these guys are playing, and like they're all great. NL, great. Nowhere to be seen. Didn't make top 4. Angry Bird, been incredible. Gone. Punk, one of the best players in the world, has looked really strong. Not here.
No.
Incredible play by all of these guys. It's been really, really impressive to watch. And this is the joy and beauty of international offline competition, where you have everybody is on the level. Like there's no mismatches. There's no gimmies here. There's no easily predictable brackets. There's no, these two guys are easily better than everyone else at this event. No. It's not true. We've got like 6 or 7 guys at this event that could have easily won today. Mr. Crimson was at the event in Qatar, which Angry Bird won. And yet, he's here. Mena RD in the grand finals of CEO. He's here in grand finals again. Great consistency from him. Is it going to be his time? What an exceptional event it's been. I've really been enjoying the Street Fighter. The depth of adaptation, the awareness, the understanding of the opponent's strategy and win condition and how they're countering. It's a beautiful thing to watch, man. And it really is making me remember, as much as I love this region-locked online stuff that's showcasing so many names and really highlighting some great talent, this is the elite level. This is the elite level. It's really been a joy.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. And I love the fact that you brought up the Qatar tournament too, and in fact that CEO, because now this grand finals is actually a meeting between the 2 players that got second place at those tournaments. Mena RD getting second at CEO and Mr. Crimson getting second at Qatar. So It's a great thing. The consistency is there, right? These players are super high level. They've overcome those demons. They've taken those L's on the way to get a W here. And we're going to see who comes
someone's
out
about
with
to
one.
break this curse, right? Someone's about to break this second place, and the one person will emerge on top. Who's it going to be? We've seen Gamer B not go for Luke in the Dawson matchup. He stuck to Lucia the whole way through, took him to the last game. Are we going to see Mena go for Luke? That's the interesting thing. Let's take a look at the replay. Thank you so much, production, for lining this up. We're already getting ahead of ourselves because we're so excited for this grand final. But it was so back and forth in this. I can't really define specifically why the victor won. It was just a number of exchanges. It wasn't anything that was, I feel like, an ongoing domination here. It was very much back and forth. They were very evenly matched.
In the last round set, as close as this one was, I mean, to me, it just comes down to the player that won made probably one more right decision than the other. Like, that's how even it was, right? And Mr. Crimson, he had, I don't even know where to pinpoint the big thing that won him the game, right? I know there was a couple of times where he clutched out, interrupting the like the nightstick or the big EX move that takes Lucia across the screen with the slide. That
the EX run into the V screen.
Yeah, exactly, right. That was like a big moment that he had here or there. But you could kind of count big moments like that from both sides throughout the whole set. So really,
you can see kind of like how pressed Gamer B was, because I think in the last 2 games he broke out with about 5 EX reversals.
True.
And look, there you go. That was a -2 situation. He's trying to force the issue with Mr. Crimson. It's late in the set, it's your turn finally, and Mr. Crimson has been interrupting a lot. Mr. Crimson has been taking his turn a lot. He has been stealing turns back, and we were pointing out like how good he was. But as good as he was at stealing turns, he was equally as good at not stealing turns. He just became incredibly difficult to protect on defense, whether it was the instant air gale, whether it was the jump back sniper when it was for the kill and he knew that he was pretty sure that Gamer B was going to go for a throw or a walk-up situation. Very, very, very impressive stuff from Crimson. I think it's very easy to watch Dalsim players and just look at them, you look at them pressing medium buttons, whether it's medium punch back, medium kick, whatever they're doing in the neutral. Couple of fierces, couple of roundhouses, slide activate. We've all seen that stuff. Get a knockdown, teleport, EX fireball mix up. We've seen that all day, and anyone can do that. It's the defense that really sets them apart, I think. I think it's the identifying the patterns, identifying the approach strategies of their opponent, and then selecting the more favorable button. You're never always going to be right with Sim. I think Sim players accept that they're probably going to get in, someone's going to get in on them eventually. Yeah. And that's when your defensive decisions come into play, where you're making it so hard for your opponent to read, whether you're going to tech, whether you're going to make the instant Gale read, whether you're going to try and teleport out. Is the V-shift coming here? Mr. Crimson didn't even really show the V-shift too tough either.
No.
So that's there as well. And it's very, very impressive the way in which that, he's approached this tournament, has been approaching in general anyway. I'm really looking forward to this grand finals. I know you are as well, Ringe. We're going to take the shortest break whilst the players ready themselves, because it has been a hectic day. It's been a hectic 3 days. We've been playing 3 days straight here at the Global Esports Tour. But don't worry, your grand finals are locked and loaded. It's going to be Mena Ardi of the Dominican Republic in winner's side up against Mr. Crimson of France fighting out a loser's side. What characters are going to use, we have no idea. It's going to be a surprise for both of us and for you when you join us after this short break. We'll be here, ready and waiting, and we'll see you then.
on the stream. But don't worry, he will be bringing
There we
us
go.
back very shortly.
God
What's
damn
good,
it.
man?
Sorry about that. Welcome back to the Global Esports Tour 2022 here, coming to you from the newly constructed Boulevard in Riyadh City, amidst the middle of the Gamers 8 Festival, the 8-week festival of video games here, which is celebrating the full spectrum of gaming from, exhibitions, new titles, and of course competitive video games. And we have been enjoying some very competitive video gaming over these last 3 days. If you've just joined us, welcome. You've missed a lot of action. Please go and check the VODs after the culmination. But Logan Sama here alongside Ringe, we have been enjoying 14 invited players slugging it out at the highest level, fighting for not only this $50,000 prize pool, which is not in any way to be overlooked as a motivating factor, but also just appreciating this international competition, something that these guys have been fiending for the last couple of years during lockdown. A real rarity to see players representing from so many different territories, countries, regions, communities, all in one place and going at it. We've been really enjoying it, haven't we, man?
Oh, most definitely. It is return to form. It is what we crave when it comes to the fighting game realm. So it has been a beautiful thing to see it all culminate here in Riyadh. And these 14 phenomenal players. This is our top 8 that are being introduced right now. Of course, Gamer B, who you just saw fall in losers finals, wrapping up that 3rd place prize. And you can see the cash in the background as well for these players. Actually, you can tell that Gamer B also getting paid out. All these top 8 players getting a chunk of that $50,000 prize pool. But it is time for that lion's share reward, Logan. And the first one making their way to the stage gonna be the winner side representative, the man from the Dominican Republic, Mena RD.
Absolutely. Coming in off the back of a strong performance at CEO. He finished 2nd behind Idom. He got top 8 at Combo Breaker as well. He's been looking very, very strong as of recent, and he seems to be coming into his strongest form coming into this grand finals on the winner's side. Of course, another man that recently got a 2nd place only last week in Qatar, Mr. Crimson of France, who's fought his way through that losers bracket, taking down a number of powerful opponents in the last couple of rounds to get his place here. I mean, realistically, we got to top 6, and you look at the names there. You've got Punk, you've got Angry Bird, players that he's beaten already. Gamer B, like world-class competition, and he's here facing Mena RDs out of the loser's side, so he's going to have to reset the bracket and beat him twice in these 3 out of 5 sets. It's going to be a big ask, but the big question is, which characters are we going to see?
Ooh, most definitely, man. I'm thinking the sim for Mr. Crimson. He's got a plethora of characters. He can go through so many, but the sim has gotten him to where he's at now. I think he's feeling it on the character, not just his comfort levels, but the momentum. Everything right now, I think, is rolling for the sim. The question I have is a Mena RD side. His Luke has been looking lethal, but we saw that Gamer B didn't even want to play that matchup, right? Dodged the Luke Dawson matchup with the Lucia. So I don't know if Mena RD has a similar mindset with the approach to the matchup. If we're going to see the birdie first, he does have the luxury of having a whole set that Gamer B, or excuse me, that Mr. Crimson has to beat him with first to actually take the tournament, but I don't know what he's going to experiment with to start.
We're going to find out now.
Oh, I forgot about the ROG.
Yeah, we saw the ROG at CEO. ROG is a very good pick against Dalsim. That is a very, very difficult match for Dalsim, and that actually might force Mr. Crimson to reconsider his character pick here, and that's always going to be in the pocket once Crimson locks in. So just showing that Balrog there on the character select screen is a very good psychological tool. It looks like he has locked in. So we're going to see this match play out. Yes, we are. So the reason why this matchup's difficult is because outside of the effective ranges of Sim, Balrog is able to threaten with that dash straight. Once you get in on Sim as well, his pressure is like magnetic. He really sticks to the character also. And he's got some legitimate punishes as well. So it's very difficult to deal with.
I'm glad we got to see a little bit of the youth in attendance as well. The next generation of fighting gamers.
Exactly.
But right now, this is Grand Finals. Men are the winner side advantage going up against Mr. Crimson. Oh, and already with the Balrog pick, it's looking good. Does get stuffed on the EX rush attempt, though. And Crimson, the one applying pressure in the corner. Menardi looking for these neutral jumps. At least they avoided the drill. Now winding up, you know, that V-trigger Duff coming in high and heavy. Trying to catch him off guard with a jump, but Mr. Crimson more than ready.
Takes the throw. Oh my god, you're going, oh no, he didn't get all of it.
Jump back fierce, puts a stop to the offense that Menardi was trying to bring.
So Mr. Crimson playing like a real slippery game. He's doing whatever he can to stay out. He does not want to... Yeah, that's a bad situation. Anytime Boxer gets a knockdown, very bad for Sim. He's going to have to guess. Guessing wrong. You can't be right every day. He's going to spend the bar. Still alive. He's got to take the guess for the throw. There it is after the tick. And that was a dominant... That's what I'm used to seeing in this matchup, when the players are kind of evenly matched. The Boxer gets in and the Sim has to really guess, and it's very difficult for the Sim to keep the Boxer out.
Menardi with haymakers, bro. All heavy buttons. Now we get the mediums once we're close quarters. Ooh, tried to dash in because he has been pressing so many big buttons after that. I think he felt comfortable to dash in, but Mr. Crimson's still challenging.
Well, Mena with that stand fierce, the crush counter, has been doing so much work. Ooh, nice
knowledge. Get that out of here.
Low profile, right, exactly. He's gonna get the... No, he's not gonna get the kill. I thought he had the wreckers there. There's the activation. He's gonna have to take the mix up. Eats it, and another one. He doesn't want to take... Oh! That's what he was doing. Okay.
The dirty boxing right there. Give him a little bit of elbow to the face. Balrog with the first game. I was wondering
why he was getting hit airborne. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. He committed to that read 3 times in a row because he knew eventually Sim would probably go for either a delay or a throw. That instant jump back, getting the job done. He's getting so much mileage as well off this stand fierce. Like, the crush counter stand fierce also causing a knockdown. There's the crush counter roundhouse though. That stand fierce causing a knockdown is incredible for him because it allows him to get in.
Like, after every rush punch, it's been roundhouse. He's swinging for the fences, finds another stun.
Throw for the win. Yeah, it just keeps the string tight this time. And there's the jab interrupt.
Ridiculous pressure, overwhelming. I know Meta RD suffocating Mr. Crimson, not giving him any gaps. I love it.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, it has the meter to convert off of that. Also allows him to get out the corner. The V-shift is used. Doesn't really get much out of it. Catches him. Low.
Smart.
No punish though.
Ooh, the jump out.
Just raw jumps out. And I mean, you rarely ever see Balrog jump forward out of the corner. No cross up. So it's literally just an escape tool.
Yeah, man, these jumps have been on point. I've never seen a Balrog jump this much. And look, he tried to do it again. I'm surprised no button came out.
Yeah, that time he did have the bar to cancel. Dash straight -4. Sim very, very difficult for him to get a significant punish at -4 without having EX.
Alright, Crimson gets challenged off the teleport. Now we back in the corner. Big tech throw, honestly. This round could have got out of hand real quick. Oh, cuts him off. You ain't gonna be able to press after that. Recognition on the range of the low slide as well. And RD looking really on point. But Crimson has chipped away at some life. This is still doable.
Yeah. Gets caught again. That time he sits down.
Interrupt on the overhead.
No overhead again. You're 0-2 with those overhead reads.
Oh, and we press on the plus frames. I respect that because Mena has definitely been throwing the haymakers after the plus frames, right? He's been doing the roundhouses, the fears, and a jab can interrupt those. It's only, what, +1 on the EX?
Yeah, it's only +1 on the EX now. And he was pretty far away, so...
Yeah.
You know, there was the risk of him catching a light kick into a target combo, but...
Everybody out in attendance here.
Yeah, it's nice to see people out here and actually enjoying the action. Might not be Street Fighter experts, but You know, this is some hype play. I hope they're enjoying it in the arena.
Most definitely. I always think, oh, fighting games are a viewer-friendly experience, even when you're not in-depth knowledge-wise with them.
Yeah, they're pretty easy to see what's going on the screen, right? Two people just beating each other up, life bars going down, KOs, funky animations.
Easy to understand. Now, Menard, a whole lot of gray life on his side. Mr. Crimson trying to cash out on that. Nice activation off of it to keep his turn going.
Patient defense, yeah.
Oh my goodness, he's been
nice.
so
The
good.
Call out.
Yeah. He has been so good at countering that slide.
He saw the 2 bars. He knew what was definitely in Crimson's mind. He took the risk on pressing the jab, and he was right that time. Another jump in from Mena.
I'm telling you, yeah, I've never seen a Balrog jump forward this much. Like, he hasn't even just been jumping out of the corner. He's been doing it in neutral. Oh, the EX upper after the rush punch.
Yeah.
He's feeling froggy for sure. Does get clip low this time. And look, yeah, Menard is jumping out of the corner once again. Has switched sides on him. Oh, no. It doesn't get the full grounded punish, but still, it's his turn.
Nice spacing.
Yeah, it's too high. Good challenge from NRD. Oh, Mr. Crimson with the big mix. Gets the super afterwards. Enough to put him in the grave. That was real important because NRD, I mean, he was sitting on CA, so Mr. Crimson, he wasn't really looking for slide V trigger. He needed to save the V meter, and he got punished for looking for it last time. So he definitely adjusted the game plan effectively.
He went for the... It looked like it would have comboed on counter hit, but he went for a follow-up instead, and that counter hit also.
Oh, the slide! This has been such a hallmark of Mr. Crimson being able to call out these EX specials.
Another jump in pays off, and we're going corner to corner again. Spends both bars. An interruption. Of course, it's an interruption from Crimson. Why not? Ooh. No interruption that time, and Mena just stands him up with the string.
Nice jump. I didn't see if he was counter hit or not. I think he was just holding up, right?
I think he was literally just holding him up, perhaps looking for an instant air gale or an air teleport out of there. But either way, it didn't matter because he got stuck in place with that jab string. And we are at a tournament game. Another jump. Doesn't respect the plus frames on the slide. And again gets counter hit. Now he's respecting.
Wow.
Swings out the sweep.
After the roundhouse.
Crimson spends the bar on the punish, and he's got a big life lead here. He gets another knockdown into the plus frames, into the corner. Is he going to activate? Yes, he is. The V skill. -4, and again, spends the bar. Crimson fighting for his life here. One more hit will do it. There it is. Yeah, he tried to overextend and go for the last one. You rarely ever see boxer players go into the third record there because it is obviously punishable, but...
And so Menard tried to catch him off guard, right? Thinking that he would take his turn early and just committed to the full thing. Now Mena has him where he wants him. I didn't even realize he had the V-trigger already. Blowing through the limb.
Nice, he's ready there with the jab conversion. Another empty jump. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, a lot of great life cashed out there. Another V-trigger, but viewer versus off. Doesn't have to burn too much. Nice jump from Mr. Crimson with a sweep to interrupt, but still, Mena RD, these jumps relentless. Does get anti-air this time. V-shift gets it back to the neutral a little bit, but now Mr. Crimson maybe turning up the heat, and he turned it up a little bit too hot and got burned for it. Set point for Mena RD.
Yeah, once again, putting that jab down, the interruption. You can see Mena bouncing in that chair. He's feeling it.
Oh, this is going to be, speaking of heat, Crimson sets him on fire. We got a healthy life lead off that as well, but it could definitely disappear if Mena gets in.
Oh, that was so close to being a big trade combo.
V shifts away. Ooh, we committed to the V break and got clipped afterwards. Jumps out of the corner at the very least, and V reversals the air option.
For Ultra after that. You see how that V reversal hit in the air? Anti-air headbutt into Ultra 1.
Classic.
Want to get paid. Oh, that's unfortunate. But Crimson will take that happily. And we're all level. One set game defended from Mr. Crimson. We're going to a fifth and final game in this first grand final set. There might be another set. You don't know. It's all depending on this game. Men at RD, of course, in the winner's side. Mr. Crimson has beaten some of the very best of the best of the best. Punk, NL, Angry Bird, Gamer B. Is he going to add Men at RD to that list of names?
Yeah, the endurance for Crimson is wild right now. He's already been playing so much high-level fighting games today, and that wears on you mentally. It really does fry your brain after a period of time. And the fact that he's still playing at this level, being down 2-1, having the composure and the skill to bring it back to a tied set in a rough matchup against a player like Mena RD. I mean, yeah, both of these guys are just phenomenal. As you said, we're feeling like mere mortals watching these two gods fight it out here at Riyadh.
All right, taking a little pause for the cause here. Are we going to see a V-trigger change? Are we going to see a V-skill change? No, we are not. It's 1-1. Vanilla V system all across the board. Season 1 business.
Plain Janes, no bust downs.
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. This is going to be game 5 here. Mena RD versus Mr. Crimson again. First set here. Mena RD on the winner's side. Crimson and trying to reset the bracket, get a real chance at this dub and the lion's share of the $50,000 prize pool.
This man is holding up forward with Boxer. I never thought I would see it. Unconventional play has been the theme of this tournament. There's been so many interesting strategies employed by all these players, but I never thought I would see a Boxer holding up forward as much, especially out of the corner, as this one.
Yeah, Mena bringing his own brand of ball rock, but again, these rush punches starting to get shut down by the slides. Tried to get another throw off, and then a hesitation. Just the amount of frames that the roundhouse takes gives you a moment to flinch, and again another slide, looking catching like the stand fierce that time.
Set point here for Mr. Crimson. Round of applause from the dignitaries in attendance. Again, the crush counter gets the knockdown, and that's the big deal here. Back dashes out, gets air reset. He's got the screen control and the life lead. Again, that slide working out for Crimson. Doing really well with that, actually. Great timing to pull it out.
Yeah, it takes him a game or two to really get the read on his opponent, but he's been able to shut down those full screen specials with that slide across his opponent's lives. Oh, if you wrestle too far, but Mena RD ready to bust down anyway.
Yeah, bullying his way in.
Mr. Crimson
just takes
the
it.
Bracket.
Perfect calculation on the damage. Got exactly what he needed. And Mr. Crimson hyping the crowd out, the noise. This man is a performer. He's reset the bracket out of losers. He has added Mena RD's name to the list of players that he has managed to get past, and done so in a matchup that is traditionally very unfavorable to Sim. But the way that Mr. Crimson is playing this defensive style, his ability to interrupt and just shut down the approach from Mena RD is really, really impressive so far, man.
Yeah, I really don't know how he figures out such optimal solutions to these timings. Like, he really gets a read on his opponent's decisions, like, better than a lot of players I see. And we've seen that time and time again with the way he's shutting down these people trying to kind of bully their way in from full screen with these powerful specials like the rush punch, like the EX run from Lucia. He's just been able to stuff all of it. And now he even picks his spots well with a big heavy kick. Mr. Crimson, look at this. The movement is great too. He's starting to maneuver around these jump-ins with the drills. Really looking in control.
Nice use of that standing light punch, extending out so
Ridiculous
far. There's the
buffer.
crouch light kick. The trade just too far away. These interactions not working. And again, the counter hit off that same slide. He's got a really, really good read on the tempo and the timing that Mena is looking to play this neutral game.
And now Mena finally gets the throw here. Man, beautiful spacing on that drill. Was definitely plus for Mr. Crimson there as well. Man, RD with a micro walk back punish. That was clean. Viewers that off. Put some great damage on Dawson. Big throw tech from Mr. Crimson. That was going to be a lot of great life cashed out on. Oh, and Mena with the interrupt this time. Waited for the slide.
Yeah.
Nice
The
adjustment.
adaptation is there. There's the counter hit. Double strong. Into the dash straight. I'm loving this, man. The adaptations are here. The unorthodox style that we're seeing.
Ooh, caught him reaching this time. Paying dearly for it. Mr. Crimson going to be on life support after this. CA is
Another one of these
available.
rounds. You saw one in the first game, in the first set. And this is going to be one that is equally similar. Just punching them up in the corner as the young fans are having a great time, enjoying themselves.
Shouts to some of our
Talu
players
Breaker,
this
I think.
weekend as well. Yeah, Talu Breaker. That was Lightning, FGC, I believe, as well. Man, great stuff from NRD. Roaring back again. Yeah, that's the ideal starts you want in this matchup, right, with Balrog. You get an early knockdown. You can take Sim to the corner. You can really run your game. And great job. Again, he was looking for, I think, the slide a little bit more because Mr. Crimson had the V-trigger on deck, but he's just been looking for slide time and time again. As you can see right there, that's how we start the round. So NRD definitely well aware of that now and has adjusted some of his game plan. Oh, big jump in right there. You want to commit to the stand fierce. You're going to commit to the jump one, too.
All right, there's again the interruption.
Big back
Back into the corner.
But he's just holding up forward again for Mena RD. He's been confident in that option, but there it is. Mr. Crimson cutting him off at the pass. The hezzy crouch fierce gets him to flinch.
It's interesting as well because despite all of the jumps, he's still got a really good idea of, predicting when Mena is going to approach on the ground. Even though he's like throwing him right off with these jump-ins.
Look at that. He is even turning it up from what he's had in the previous rounds with the jumps right now. Mr. Crimson, nice job with the throw bait, getting the instant gale. And shutting down those point-blank drills with the jab, though. And now another
interruption from Mena that time.
Takes the tick throw. Oh!
That's going to hit. Yeah.
And just like that, Mr. Crimson ties up the set. One up here. That was back-to-back rounds as well. Didn't drop one. Man, going back to the notes for a second. We've seen him periodically throughout the games, honestly, picking up his phone. Letting himself mentally reset before getting into the next match. It's important to do so.
Yeah, man. He does a lot of lab work. Works really hard. He's going to have an abundance of notes in this matchup. But the thing is, Crimson's shown him that he's able to deal with most of his offensive approach options. And like the jump-ins, whilst really awkward, they're not awkward enough to just put him off his game.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been seeing these slide timings work out so often for Mr. Crimson now. And honestly, another thing about this, right? Oh, I think locking into this match, this is kind of the point of no return for Mena. I feel like if he would have tried a different character, it would have been before this point. So we got the Balrog all day again, interrupting the slide. And this is dangerous for Mr. Crimson. The stun is, oh yeah, V reversals it down a little bit.
Yeah, very good use of that V gauge just to get that stun all the way down. But, oh, bruv, the stun wasn't what killed him. It was all that health that he lost from that jab interruption into the EX straight.
Yeah, this is a back and forth match again, man. You don't need to understand fighting games to understand how dope this set has been so far.
Yeah, and this is very much like an archetype matchup. You can see that where, slim, long-limbed Dalsim is keeping the big burly boxer. He's wearing boxing gloves, for God's sake. You know he wants to get near to you. You know this guy isn't going to be fighting you from anywhere other than nose to nose. So easy for anybody to understand what should be going on here.
Oh, and again, these slides. He really knows when Mena's trying to close the gap with the the rush punch. He even tried to alter his timing a little bit right there, but Mr. Crimson recovered and stands medium punch so quickly. However, Mena is in.
So what is giving Mena the most success is actually being passive and then just using that jab interruption. Again.
There it is, yeah. Now, Mr. Crimson has a CA. We saw him wake up with it before. Ooh.
Like, it's really interesting to see. Is he going to walk up, throw this? I don't know if he can. No,
Oh,
he can't!
Tried. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, if Mena's going to be able to maintain, like, a passive style and work reactively, because it seems like that's paying off more than trying to bully his way in. Even though that makes the most sense in this matchup.
Exactly.
He's losing a lot of health for doing it. And Crimson's got a really good read on his timings as well, in which he's going to interrupt there and just stuff a lot of that. Opens him up with another counter hit. There's the V-shift. And throws him back into the corner rather than taking a punish.
Yeah, that back throw incident. High hit on the drill as well. And yeah, you can see him buffering right there. Mr. Crimson adjusting his game plan now not to go with the slide. Oh, but big execution error from Mr. Crimson. Going to cash out with the CA.
Yeah, now he's got to take the gas. Oh my god, he checked him in the button.
No fear in his heart. This man has gone through the loser's gauntlet. He's taken down Titan after Titan. He's here in Grand Finals. He already reset the bracket, and he wakes up in the face of death with stand jab. Ridiculous.
Bro. This man cannot be, like, he cannot be put off. Like, he cannot be made of. There's like, he's no scare. There's no scare.
Yeah, you know scare, I know scare. Chris Hugh classic right now with on display from Mr. Crimson. I literally want to go back in this tournament and count his Abare jab success. Like, his challenges on stand jab have been ridiculously successful. I don't know how he continues to do it, but it's got to be astronomical in terms of your average success with that for the average player with what he's doing right now.
Yeah, completely, you know, ready for that dash up. Knew that Mena was at minus after the forward dash. Oh, and he's actually forced Mena into a character change here.
Oh my! I thought last match was going to be the point of no return. I figured that he would want a game to play with here before fully going away from the Balrog, but nah, with his back against the wall, it is the tried and true, the character that he has a costume of. It is the birdie. Ooh, he's trying to bully his way in. You see a lot of shoulders. Big chain grab. This is how it can all start. He wanted the big crush counter as well to follow it up, and Mr. Crimson disciplined on defense. Armoring straight through the stand fierce. This is another huge opening for Mena. Oh, catches Mr. Crimson trying to wake up with the jab that time. Finally unsuccessful. Oh, jumped out at the last second and gets a full punish afterwards. Oh,
but there's the armor on the bullhorn. V-shift break. What did he do there? He must have hit. Do you know what? That must have been a jump back. Oh, he punished the overhead. That was another situation where Mr. Crimson just got hit normally after a -2 situation because he's going for that jump back sniper for the kill.
Yeah. Here we go, Dawson.
Forward fierce.
Getting his game going, taking big turns as well.
Tournament point for Mr. Crimson. What a run this would have been.
From the loser side of the bracket. Ooh. The mix is starting right now, Mr. Crimson. Oh, does block the sweep, gets a slight punish. The air is covered as well. The life lead is starting to build up. Real heavy. Mena ends up falling on the fireball as well. Big tech on the throw to survive and not get pushed to the corner. Can't find the sweep punish he's looking for, though. He's just paying with his life over and over again. Gets chipped away.
And that's it.
Mr. Crimson takes it 3-1 over Mena RD after resetting the bracket to become your champion here in Riyadh for the Global Esports Tour. Incredible performance from this man, bro. Ridiculous.
Yeah, sorry, you thought I was going to jump in and steal the announce, but I would never do that to you, sir. I was just popping off for the back throw. Mr. Crimson, what a run he has had through the losers bracket. An incredible performance. He's done it almost entirely with Sim. Both of these players have really held a great account of themselves, but you know, I have to say the list of players that Crimson's beaten to get to that trophy is so impressive. What a great event it has been. So much high level quality play. Like, I didn't know what to expect going into this because obviously we haven't seen a great deal of offline international representation for competitive fighting games in general, but specifically Street Fighter V. And these guys came in pretty much all with their A game intact. Guys that we'd maybe forgotten about a little bit because they weren't in the spotlight as much as some of the other names in the community. They definitely reminded us exactly who they were. Guys that have been going away and working on new characters came back and they look really devastating. And, you know, the same names that we have seen grinding out results, we have seen ever present in these grand finals, coming through yet again and getting the job done. And big congratulations to Mr. Crimson, because he has been one of the hardest grinding players over the last 2+ years. You know, took to the online environment, wasn't a big fan of it, but he took to the environment, entered almost everything he could, has been ever present with the CPT online, had a great result at Red Bull Kumite in London, wasn't able to travel to Vegas to defend his title, got to grand finals out there in Qatar last week, and here he is, the champion of the Global Esports Tour 2022 in Riyadh City. What a great time it has been for Crimson, and there's a lot of discussion mentioning Crimson's name when we are talking about who the best in the regions are, who the best in the world is. And I think, you know, unless you're running into a terrible matchup, Crimson's got to be in there. And he's even shown today the way that he dealt with Mena's boxer. He is very apt at dealing with those bad matchups as well.
Yeah, we thought that at the beginning with the Balrog versus Dalsim, it could have been one of those character select dance sets, right? Where whoever wins the first match could potentially force the other into a character switch. But no, he stood tall with the Dalsim, stood in the face of a typically bad matchup, and ended up coming out on top of it, forcing the birdie switch, as you mentioned, and still managed to get through that as well. I mean, Mr. Crimson, MVP of the tournament for sure, going down into the losers bracket in round 2, falling to NL, and then just terrorizing everybody on his way to a full W. I mean, incredible play from all of our players. It was great to have this international offline competition again. We got to see 4 distinct regions in the top 4 for the bracket as well, and that's pretty much what we're always aiming for when it comes to fighting games. It's incredible to see the fact that all of the top players from the several regions seem to be on a similar level to each other, right? There's levels to the regions within themselves, but those elite level players, we saw Rob and everybody talk about those elite level players from America, EU, the Middle East, Asia, they all seem to be of similar skill level, and seeing them clash in an environment like this with $50,000 on the line, with all the lights on the line, I mean, that is exactly why I love fighting games.
Couldn't have said it better, man. Absolutely right. What a joy it's been. What a great festival, celebration of competitive Street Fighter. There was the reset from Mr. Crimson, honors even, and again, it looked like Mena was going to be doing the bullying. The matchup started to raise its ugly head, and he couldn't stop Boxer from getting in. But again, Crimson was ready with the next level of adaptation. The timing was changed up. He started representing a lot more with that slide specifically, and it made it very difficult for Mena to actually close that distance very desperately, holding up forward a great deal. And even then, you know, when Crimson wasn't able to directly deal with the jump-ins, unfortunately walking into the CA there, when Crimson wasn't able to deal with the jump-ins, he was at least able to deal with the pressure. Here you're going to see Mena overextending, trying to press a button after dash. He quick rose and interrupted as well. And it's just really good awareness and knowledge from Crimson. He's drilled a lot of these matches. He is very apt in his strategy, but his execution of the strategy is there as well. He hasn't got any ring rust on him.
Absolutely not. He is super clean, and he really is able to identify the things that are plaguing him early on in sets and adjust and end up overcoming them later on. We saw it countless times throughout this whole tournament run. He definitely saw a lot of issues. These characters are starting to prepare specific matchups for Dawson, right? We didn't even see the Luke come out from Gamer B. We saw Lucia. He obviously had prepared that character for that matchup, still overcame that. We did not see the Luke or the Birdie until the very end from NRD. He had the Balrog, a matchup prepared specifically for Sim. And even despite that, in the face of all that, somehow Mr. Crimson continues to make so many correct defensive choices and then puts you in the mix that Dawson is so potent with, and he just somehow comes out with these W's. And it really is off the back of him being an incredible defensive mind.
Yeah, the defensive decision making was incredible. You know, the informed decisions and reactions to certain situations, but just the reads as well. The identifying of the timing and the tempo. It's very much a game of cat and mouse. He wants to keep Boxer at arm's length, his arm's length, not Boxer's arm's length, and the way that he was able to do that using all of the tools at his disposal, especially the defensive tools to get out. He was really good at mitigating, because he wasn't able to completely shut Balrog out. He was definitely getting opened up a fair few times, and we saw rounds that were like pretty much blow-ups as well. But through all of that, because it's a longer set, he was able to just have more belief in his decision making, and in the end he was able to close it out in a convincing fashion with the reset and that last round as well. Speaking of closing it out in convincing fashion, all of this pageantry, all of this amazing splendor at the Gamers 8 Festival. You've seen the arena, you've seen all the dignitaries in attendance, you've seen the beautiful stage setup as well, that trophy. We are going to be awarding that trophy to Mr. Crimson very shortly. We're going to take a short break for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to be celebrating Mr. Crimson's victory here over all comers at the Global Esports Tour 2022. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes to celebrate with Mr. Crimson, who is now not only the proud owner of a very beautiful trophy, but quite a lot of money as well. We'll find out exactly how much that is when he comes out on stage in a bit. But we will see you in a bit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello and welcome back. Mr. Crimson is your champion of the Global Esports 2022 here in Riyadh, and it is about time to present to him that fantastic trophy that was previously in the middle of the stage behind our host there, but it is now waiting in the wings to be awarded to Mr. Crimson by some of the dignitaries who have been here throughout the whole time enjoying the action. Ringe, man, we've been enjoying the action as well. What a great event it's been.
Indeed, I cannot believe we got to be a part of this right Riyadh, showing out with 14 of the best players in Street Fighter V in the world, getting to see this international offline competition. It has been exactly what we needed, and there is the trophy that is revealed behind the host as well.
Absolutely. We have here His Royal Highness alongside representative from the Global Esports Tour, who will be handing over the trophy to Mr. Crimson, and of course the award to Mena RD for second place, who now makes his way out onto the stage. Another second place for him, but he is going to feel very positive about his performance going into Evo. Very consistent. It might be his day in a couple of weeks. We'll find out. He's already got a Capcom Cup behind him, but he's looking very dangerous out there right now. Second place, a very significant prize for him.
Oh, yeah. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Mena RD riding a lot of momentum going into Evo. But this man, Mr. Crimson, has just a little bit more, right? Coming off of his second place performance at Qatar. Now the first place prize, that lion's share of the $50,000 prize pool, as well as this beautiful trophy of the Global Esports Tour. Yes, and Mr. Crimson, to show me that he is lifting it properly above the dome as the sparklers fly. You love to see it.
Absolutely. I'm very happy that he checked to make sure that that was firmly attached to the base first. I've seen some professional footballers make that mistake, but this is a very sturdy trophy awarded for a man who has had a very tough run through the tournament. He had a hellacious run through losers bracket, but so did everybody. The caliber of the players here, the caliber of the play on show at this international event at the Global Esports Tour in Riyadh has been exceptional, and an exceptional player stands there in the middle of the stage between the dignitaries with that trophy and the lion's share of that enormous $50,000 prize pot, and very, very well deserved. He fought his way through some of the very best out there.
Absolutely. Falling into the losers bracket in round 2, right? I believe the only player in top 4 to do so. So he had a longer road than all of his competitors in that final stretch. And man, he really made the most of it, right? Sometimes getting into that losers bracket early will only fuel the fire and really get you warmed up. And that's what we saw from Mr. Crimson. He rode every single dub. Just the momentum kept snowballing into that grand finals, where he was able to reset on Mena RD and then take it all with the Dawson, looking fantastic for the Global Esports Tour in Riyadh. And yeah, man, Crimson is your champion. Incredible stuff. Big ups to Mena RD as well, and all of our competitors.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's run through that top 8 again. Obviously, you saw Crimson in first, Mena in second. It was Gamer B that took third place, surprising us all with an incredible performance against NL. Angry Bird with a unbelievable run through losers. He actually went into the losers bracket first round because he got sent there by NL, and he went on a crazy run as well, but he was only able to make it into fourth. NL in fifth, Punk the God in sixth, Sien in seventh, and Yami Matoy representing for Saudi Arabia. It's great to see a Saudi player there actually finishing in the top 8 out of the invited players here. It's been a really, really enjoyable event, and thank you so much for joining us at home, watching wherever you're watching from. I hope you've loved this international action. It's been great to see these different regions going head to head, and as you pointed out, Rinj, such diversity in that Final Four.
Yes, a beautiful thing, right? We saw France, the United Arab Emirates. We also saw, I already said France, excuse me, the Dominican Republic, and as well as Taiwan with Gamer B all represented. A beautiful
Four
thing.
different continents.
Yeah,
Amazing.
4 different continents, 4 unique regions, and that's what we want when it comes to fighting games. And this is an incredible, we couldn't have asked for a better precursor to EVO that is just on the horizon, right? Next weekend, we are going to get the premier tournament when it comes to international offline competition. And I mean, a lot of these players that you saw today are going to be there. They're going to be riding that momentum into it, trying to crown themselves a world champion. And I mean, I can't wait to get to it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to the Global Esports Federation for bringing Street Fighter 5 onto the Global Esports Tour and delivering this event. Big up to the production crew as well. We've been working tirelessly, working incredibly long days to make sure that the technical side of things are handled, and we hope you've enjoyed the smooth broadcast that we've had over these last couple of days after the start out that we had on day one. The guys have been working so hard, and I really appreciate them working with us to bring you the action in a way that is as enjoyable as it deserves, because we've had some great games from the get-go, from day dot, and you deserve to see that in the best quality. So thank you again to the production team. Thanks, Rinj, man. It's been great fun. It's always a pleasure, and I guess I'll see you in like a week or so.
Oh, yeah, I'm most definitely going to see you in a week or so, my man.
That's right. And hopefully we'll see you guys real soon. Thank you very much for watching. That is it from us here for the weekend. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, wherever you are. Take care, and we'll see you real soon.